A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry of the Circus. For Jerry of the Circus.
Mr. Randall.
Oh, hello there, Jerry. Something wrong?
Gee, I don't know. I'm sure glad to see you, though. Look at all that smoke coming out of Clara's tent.
Huh?
I was just going in when Rags heard you coming around the corner.
Oh, quick, Jerry. We haven't any time to lose.
Boy, look how that smoke pours out. You can't see a thing.
Here, the flame's over here. You got a blanket or something, Jerry?
Okay. Here you are.
Yeah.
Why, it's the ironing board.
Yeah.
Golly, but that smoke's bad.
There, that does it. Good there wasn't much of a blaze, just an awful lot of smoke.
Someone must have left the iron on. Here, I'll disconnect it.
No, that's inexcusable. I've never known Clara in all the years she's worked for me to do a careless thing like that.
Say, Mr. Randall, look.
Oh, where?
Here on the ground.
Huh?
See where some of the sawdust is scraped away? Looks like a footprint.
Well, I guess it's yours, Jerry. No one else has such a small foot. You're getting so detective conscious you'll be catching yourself one of these days.
No, but look, Mr. Randall. This is a lot smaller than my foot.
Oh, so it is.
Say, it couldn't be Major Mite.
Hmm?
Oh, no, of course not.
Major Mite? He's just crazy enough to... Come on, Jerry. Let's drop in on him. He'd be dressing now. You know, the sideshow opens before the big show.
You know, I kind of hated to suggest him, but, well, you know that argument he and Clara had about his watch?
Yes, I know. The Major thinks certain people have it in for him, and you just can't convince him any different. Clara's been one of his pet peeves for a long time now.
I don't see why he should feel like that about Clara. She's really awful friendly.
Well, if you hadn't have had the bright idea about taking that picture in Clara's tent, we might have blamed all that monkey business on the Major. He's annoyed her before.
Mr. Randall, I don't know whether I ought to tell you this, but, well, I sure don't want to be a tattletale, but...
Well, what is it, son?
Well, it may just be a coincidence, but the other night, Patsy and Bumps and I went to the cafe near the lot after the show, and...
Go on,
well,
Jerry.
the Major came out just ahead of us, and he was carrying a big bag of bananas. They were sticking out of the top of the bag. Patsy kind of laughed, and Bumps said he was probably giving his friends a party or a treat or something.
Well, what's all this got to do with...
Well, you see, later that night, when the watchman and Rags and me saw that shadow...
Yeah?
And then we went back to the monkey cage after finding the footprint.
Yes?
Well, there was a banana peel laying on the ground right outside the chimpanzee's cage.
Oh, well, of course, lots of people might have given that to the chimpanzee.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't say anything to anybody then. But the next morning, Bumps and I were going down to see Uncle Dan. And...
Oh, yeah, I know. And the bearded lady was bawling out the poor Major about Patsy's costume. The Major came and explained the whole thing to me.
That costume had been left in Clara's tent to be mended, and I helped Patsy put it in there myself.
Oh, you don't say. Say, if anyone else pulled a stunt like this, Providing, of course, the Major is responsible for this electric iron and all that monkey business and Patsy's costume, I'd fire them so quick.
Mr. Randall, I'd hate to have you do that.
Yeah, but with the Major, I'll just have to let him know I'm onto him and what he's done, and he'll be so ashamed he'll be good for the rest of the season. As good as he can be, that is. There's his tent right over there. Now, if I were you, I'd just take a little walk with Rags and let me see the Major alone.
Oh, sure. Sure thing, Mr. Randall.
I'd just rather he didn't know you had anything at all to do with all this.
So would I.
You see, Jerry, it's really my fault. I asked you to try and find out about those things that were disappearing from Clara's tent, so you only did your job.
I'm sure glad I could help.
Help? It looked to me as if you solved it all. Hang around. I'll see you when I come out.
Okay, Mr. Randall. Come along.
Major Mite.
Hello, what's me?
It's Sam Randall.
Oh, yes, Mr. Randall, I'll be right out.
Good. Oh, there you are. Didn't take you long?
No, sir, when the boss comes to see me, I'm a quick change artist.
Well, Major, I'm having a little bit of trouble.
Oh, you don't say. I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Randall.
Now, Major, I don't want you to take offense at what I'm going to say.
Well, I never have I?
You and I have always gotten on pretty well, and that's just how I want things to keep on going.
Well, that's a ticket with me, too, Mr. Randall.
Now, I understand you and Clara have been having a little hard feeling lately.
A little? Say, listen, Mr. Randall, I'm glad you brought that up. I've had more of that woman's meanness than I'm going to take.
No, we won't go into that, Major. Personally, I think you're all wrong about Clara. Everyone else seems to be very fond of her.
Well, that's just because they got a buffalo. But she thinks she can push me around just because I'm little. Now, when I try and talk back to her, she's really vicious.
Oh, what do you mean, vicious?
Oh, this just goes to show you. I admit we've been having words lately.
So I hear.
Well, after the storm the other night, my coat needed pressing.
I can imagine.
Well, I asked her to press it before the matinee, and she wouldn't promise. Anyhow, she said she had a lot of other things to do first.
Well, after that storm, I know she had a lot to do.
Yeah, well, why did she pick on me?
Well, did she press your coat?
Well, yes, but I had to wait till the last minute. And then, she stole my watch. That magnificent watch that the King of Romania gave me. I tell you, Mr. Randall, I thought more of that watch than anything else in the world.
But Clara wouldn't do a thing like that.
Yeah, but she did. I know I had it in the inside pocket of my coat. When I looked for it after she pressed it, it was gone.
I just can't believe that Clara would do a thing like that.
She's dangerous, Mr. Randall. She's vicious and...
Now, just a minute, Major. While we're on all this, even if she did take that watch, which I don't believe, don't you think she might just be trying to get even?
Get even?
What about all this business with Aga, the chimpanzee?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You haven't heard about the trouble Clara's had in the wardrobe lately?
Why, no, of course not.
About the chimp that was let out of its cage to go in there late at night, and about the little man who's been feeding the chimp bananas?
Why, Mr. Randall, you certainly don't think that
I certainly do think you've been back of all of this. And I've got enough proof for you to confess and make a clean breast of the whole story.
Well, I'm completely flabbergasted.
Yeah, you'll be more than flabbergasted if you don't confess. I want you to know I've just come from her tent now, and fortunately got there just in the nick of time.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm talking about a fire from an electric iron.
Oh, no, Mr. Randall. It couldn't have caught fire.
That's just what it did. It's lucky for you I happened to be going by there in time to put it out.
Yeah, but I just meant to scorch her ironing board a little.
Uh-huh. So you did do it, huh? Never mind, I knew it all along.
No, truly, Mr. Randall, I didn't mean any harm. I put it on just before the end of the matinee.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she'd find it, of course, before she went off for supper.
Yeah, she probably never went back.
Yeah, but she always does go back after the show.
Well, she missed this time. Anyhow, you just missed sending our whole circus up in smoke.
Oh, Mr. Randall, I don't know what to say.
Why would you do such a thing, Major?
Well, she took my watch.
Well, you think she took it. Remember, you took her thimble. And I hear Clara set great store by her thimble. It was a gold one that her grandmother gave her.
Well, Edgar wasn't supposed to steal anything. She was just supposed to mess things up.
Yeah, she did that all right.
Well, when I find out she'd taken the thimbles and those paste buckles, I took them right back and hid them among the things so she'd think they were there all the time.
Oh, so that's how you happen to have Patsy's costume in your tent, huh?
Yeah, sure. I was just waiting for a chance to get it back when that miserable bearded lady had to find it.
By the way, how are you and she getting along nowadays?
Oh, don't ask me, Mr. Randall. I never want to see her again. She's just She's just a pest. That's what she is, a pest.
You certainly have a time getting along with all your lady friends.
What are you going to do with me about all that?
Well, I'll tell you, Major. First of all, I'll have to deduct enough out of your salary to get Clara a new ironing board.
Truly, I didn't really mean to start a fire.
Oh, I'm sure of that, but you've got to think more and not let your temper run away with you. Now, that's one thing.
Well, I'll try, Mr. Randall. Honest, I will.
Good.
If you'll only forget all about this, I'll promise I'll never lose my temper again. Honest.
Well, we'll see, Major. Meantime... Oh, hello there, Jerry. Who you got with you there?
Excuse me, Mr. Randall, but I met this messenger boy down on the lot, and he asked me to show him to Major Mike's tent.
Well, got something for me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's funny. Where from?
The Ransom's jewelry store, sir.
Well, I didn't buy anything at a jewelry store. Are you sure you got the right name?
Sure, it's Major Mite, all right, with the Randall Brothers Circus.
Well, that's me.
Gee, maybe someone's giving you a present.
If you'll sign here, Major.
Yeah, here you are.
Good evening, sir.
Well, I wonder what this can be.
Great Godfrey, man, open it.
Let me see, a little box like this. I wonder what it'll be.
Bet it's a ring.
No, it's too big a box for a ring.
There, now, I'll open it. So, what?
Oh, well, what's wrong, Major?
What is this, a joke?
Why, it's a watch.
I'll say it's a watch. It's my watch. The watch I've been so worried about.
Well, I'm glad you got it back.
Yeah, but why from a jewelry store?
Maybe you had it fixed and forgot about it.
Certainly not. You think I'm feeble-minded?
No, of course not.
Guess I'd know if I sent my watch to a jewelry store.
Well, you better look it over carefully, Major. Open up the back.
It sticks a little. There. See? Oh, man, I'll kill her. I'll take her. I'll do
Well,
that.
now, here, Major, here. I thought you weren't going to lose your temper again. Now, take it easy.
Why, that's a picture of the bearded lady.
Vandal. That's what she is, a vandal. So that's what she was doing, snooping around my wagon the other morning, taking my watch so she could get a picture engraved on the back of it. The nerve of that woman.
Now, Major, now calm down. Jerry and I have to go along now. Just take it easy. Remember, it's hard on your digestion to get so mad.
I'll get even with her if it's the last thing I do.
Well, she probably was trying to be nice, Major.
But my watch, the one that the King of Romania gave me, and now it's got the bearded lady's picture engraved on the back.
Come along, Jerry.
Okay, Mr. Randall. Goodbye, Major, and I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm more than sorry. I'm speechless.
Poor Major. What a time he has.
I think it's kind of funny, though, don't you?
Yes, I do, Jerry. But we must never let the Major know. He just can't stand kidding.
Tomorrow, the Jack Benny Show leaves for a 3-week trip to Chicago and New York. So let's go out to Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where Rochester is helping him pack.
Be careful how you fold it over the hanger, Rochester.
Yes, boss.
Careful now, I don't want any creases in it.
Okay.
Now pack the other one. I don't want to be caught short on the trip, so I'll take all 4 of them.
All right, if you include the brown one you're wearing.
Oh, yes.
Now I think we ought to start packing your clothes.
Okay, I'll take this one, and this one, and this one, and... No, this one.
Be careful, boss. You almost sneaked in a suit where the coat and pants matched.
Well, don't let me do that, Rochester. I don't want to give Hollywood a bad name. Come on, help me with the rest of my things.
All right, here you are, boss. Peekaboo!
Rochester, just pack that underwear and stop playing games. Now hurry.
Hurry.
Quiet, Polly. Now, let's see. You packed my aspirin, vitamins, blood tonic, nerve tonic, sleeping pills, liver pills, Listerine, Benzedrine, Pablum, toothpaste.
And sympathy soothing syrup.
Oh, yeah, sympathy soothing syrup. Did you put in the 10-cent size or the 25-cent size?
The 10-cent size, a gallon ought to be enough.
Now, let's see if I have everything for the trip. Socks, shoes, shorts, shirts, ties, hat, top coat, sandwiches, soda pop, and cash register. Now, what else? Oh, yes, I think I'll take a good book to read.
How about this one over here?
I Stand Condemned. Oh, I read that. It's a wonderful story. It's about a man who goes to the electric chair and leaves 3 lovely children, Sam, Louis, and Obispo. I'll take it alone and read it again. Now, help me shut up these valises.
Shut up.
Quiet, Polly. Don't say such naughty things. That's a foo-foo word. Polly, are you going to miss Daddy when he goes on the Dwayne Big trip to the Dwayne Big City with all the Dwayne Big skyscrapers?
Boss, do you think you'll see Fred Allen?
That's a foo-foo word.
Yes, I know. Now, let's,
I'll get it, boss. Hello, Jack Benny's residence, star, stage, screen, and radio, and we'll drive you to work until the trolley strike is over. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He's almost packed. All right, I'll tell him. Goodbye. Boss, it was Miss Livingston. She said she'll be a little late picking you up. She's having some trouble with her packing.
Oh, I bet it's that new maid she hired.
Gee, Miss Livingston, I envy you going to Chicago and New York.
Yeah, they're really exciting places, Hilda. Now, let's see. I'll take this pair and this pair and this pair.
Is Chicago really as windy as they say?
Yes, and I'm glad you reminded me. I better take a couple of pairs of the lacy ones. Now, look, Hilda, tell the gardener I'll be away for 4 weeks. Tell the butcher I'll take care of the bill when I come home. And you know what to tell the milkman.
Yeah, that fresh guy.
What?
You know, the last time you were away, Miss Livingston, when I went to the door, the milkman threw his arms around me and kissed me, and I shook all over.
You mean you were thrilled?
No, he had a cold bottle on my back.
Oh, now let's see. I want to take along this lovely pair of nylon stockings that Mr. Benny gave me.
Oh, they're beautiful. Mr. Benny bought them for you?
No, he won them on the Queen for a Day program.
Hey, Miss Livingston, you certainly are lucky.
Yes, they weren't his size. Now, let's see. I ought to take something to read on the train.
Why don't you take this book, Miss Livingston? It's the latest selection of the Book of the Month Club.
Oh, yes. I Stand Condemned. I read the reviews last week. It's about a man who goes to the electric chair and leaves 3 lovely children, Senda, Mendel, and Journey.
Gosh, that sounds like an exciting story.
Yes.
Say, Miss Livingston, could I go down to the station with you? You see, Alice Faye is one of my favorite movie stars, and she'll probably be there to say goodbye to Mr. Harris, and I'll get a chance to see her.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but Alice probably won't be there. She's working at the studio today. Gee, I wonder how Phil's coming along with his packing with no one to help him.
Now be careful and don't trip over the suitcase, honey.
I won't, Daddy. I
I'm going to miss you when you're away.
Well, thanks, baby. I'm going to miss you, too.
Daddy, have you got another little girl in New York?
Nope.
Have you got a big girl there?
Of course not. Never talk that way around your mother. Now, let's see. Oh, yes, baby, hand me that over there.
This long, thin stick?
That's right. And careful now, you don't break it.
What is this stick, Daddy?
It's a baton.
What's a baton?
I don't know. It's got something to do with music. I keep waving it, and the guys in the band keep looking at it, and since Patrilla don't object, I guess it's okay. Well, let me see. I guess that's all.
Oh, Daddy, here's something Mama told me to give you. It's a farewell present.
For me? Gee. Well. Gosh, this is swell. Just what I've always wanted, a book. What's the name of it, honey?
I Stand Condemned.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. It's all about a man who goes through the electric chair and leaves 3 lovely children. Win, place, and show. Now, let's see here. I want to...
Daddy, why did Mommy mark that arrow on the cover of the book?
The arrow? That's in case I pretend to read. I'll know which end to hold up. Well, I guess we've got everything. I better leave now, honey, so come on and give Daddy a great big kiss.
But, Daddy, you promised you'd do something for me before you left.
Now, honey, Daddy's late.
But, Daddy, you promised.
Okay. Ham, hocks, and turnip greens, you and me in New Orleans, and that's what I like about the South. Yeah.
Oh, Daddy, you're wonderful.
Yeah, I know. Goodbye, baby.
No, Dennis, I absolutely forbid you to take it. You're too young.
But, Mother, there's nothing wrong with it.
Then why was this book banned in Boston? I stand condemned.
But there's nothing wrong with the book. It's all about a man who goes to the electric chair and leaves 3 lovely children. Bro, Mo, and Seltzer. Seltzer was just a little squirt.
Enough of this discussion. Now finish your packing.
Yes, Mother.
And, Dennis, be careful on the trip. Don't stick your head out of the window when the train is moving. Remember what happened to Cousin Wilbur when he went to New York last year?
Yes, Mother.
And if the train stops long enough in Kansas City, put some flowers on Wilbur's grave.
All right. It's getting late. I better finish dressing. Please hand me my tie and shirt.
Just a second, son. I'd better pin this $20 bill on you before you put on your shirt. Hold still. There. Now Mr. Benny will never find it. Dennis, what did you just put in your suitcase?
Oh, that's my new contract for next year.
Oh, I'm sorry you signed up again with Mr. Benny.
But why, Mother? After all, Mr. Benny is a big celebrity. And Mr. Benny's a big radio comedian. And Mr. Benny's a big movie star.
What's that stamp on the bottom of the contract?
He's a notary public, too.
Dennis, are you sure you rehearsed the song you're going to do in Chicago?
Oh, yes, Mother. I know it by heart now. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, I'd love to, Dennis. I'll accompany you.
You'll accompany me?
Certainly, Dennis. Before I married your father, I was the one-man band that Major Bowes' Saskatchewan unit. A 1, a 2, a hit!
Sees me.
That was
Oh. Gee, I'd better hurry. Look what time it is.
Gosh, darling, I better hurry. Look what time it is.
Are you all packed, dear?
Oh, yes, darling, but what are you so sad about?
Oh, just think. In one short half hour, I'll be saying goodbye to my dear, sweet, big, fat husband.
Now, don't cry, sweetheart. I'm only going to be gone a few weeks.
Yes, I know. And, darling, I bought you a new book to read on the train. It's called I Stand Condemned.
Oh, I've read that, dear. And it was so interesting, I bought the sequel to it. It's called I Sit Contented.
I Sit Contented?
Yes, it's all about a man who smokes Lucky Strikes. And he has 3 lovely children, LS, MF, and T. And why shouldn't he be contented? After all, lucky strikes are made of the finer, the lighter, the naturally milder tobacco.
I know, darling. That's what you said to me the night you proposed. Remember that night, dear? We were driving through North Carolina.
Yes, I'll never forget it. You look so lovely with the moon and the tobacco leaf in your hair.
Oh, Donald, we're being so childish. Oh, by the way, Donald, didn't you say you were expecting a call from Mr. Benny?
Yes, I can't understand why he doesn't. Ah, there's the telephone now. Hello?
Hello, Don. Are you all packed?
Oh, yes, Jack, and you ought to see my bags. They're so round, so firm.
I know. I'll see you at the station now. Goodbye. Well, my grips are all packed. How are you going to be gone? About 4 weeks.
Then you ought to take some.
Yes, I think so. I wonder how much I should take. I'll be gone exactly 28 days. That's 28 breakfasts and 28 lunches.
What about your dinners, boss?
Oh, I'll probably be master of ceremonies at a lot of banquets. You know.
Oh, yes, we wrote those letters, didn't we?
Yes. Well, I better go down to the vault and get some money.
Who goes there, friend or foe?
Friend.
What's the password?
I've been smoking Lucky Strikes for nigh under 25 years.
Oh, it's you all, Mr. Benny.
Yes. How you feeling, Ed?
Oh, fine, now that spring is here. It is spring, isn't it?
Yes. It's very lovely out.
By the way, Mr. Benny, I've been trying to recall something. Do you remember when you first brought me out here?
Yes.
What was the name of that little dusty trail that led up to your house?
Dusty Trail? Oh, that's Wilshire Boulevard now. I said I'm going to New York.
Where?
New Amsterdam.
Oh.
Yes.
You might not believe this, Mr. Benny, but I had a chance to buy that place for $24.
Oh, well, it's worth a lot more now, you know.
Inflation, I guess.
Yes. Well, I better open the safe now.
Shall I go down to the lower level?
No, Ed. No, I trust you. Now, let's see. The combination is right to 45, left to 160, back to 15, then left to 110. There. It's a little weak. I wish Boulder Dam would step up the current. Now, let's see. There. I guess that'll be enough money. Well, Ed, I've got to rush down to the railroad station now.
Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Goodbye, Ed. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Down here?
Oh, yes, I forgot. So long, Ed.
Here you are, folks, Union Station.
You go ahead, Mary. I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
How much is it, driver?
$1.65.
Here you are, $1.65, and $1 for you.
Gee, thanks.
Well, here I am.
See, that was fast, Jack. Did you pay the driver?
Yes, Mary. Here's your purse. You left it on the seat.
Oh, for a minute I thought you used my money.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, let's go inside. Oh, by the way, Mary, you ought to get that zipper on your purse fixed. It's stuck.
It isn't stuck. I had it welded after our last trip.
Well, now you'll have to have it sewed, too. There's a hole in the bottom.
Why, Jack Benny, you mean
Come on, we haven't got time now. There's a big fuss over everything. Now, let's see. I wonder where the gang is there.
Train leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Oh, there they are, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Attention, please. People stopping at Albuquerque, please have your tickets validated. People stopping at Chicago, please check your baggage all the way through. People stopping at Kansas City, please put flowers on Wilbur's grave.
Phil, John.
Over here, Jackson.
Is everybody here? Where's Dennis?
He's not here yet.
Well, I hope he isn't late. Hey, Phil, why are you lugging that big bag around? Why don't you check it?
Oh, no, not this one, Jackson. I got my music in it.
Music. Sounds like the concerto from Lost Weekend. Phil, you ought to be ashamed.
Now, wait a minute. We're going to be on the train for 4 days. 4 days with nothing to do. You kids can read.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Attention, all passengers going to Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga. Those going to Anaheim and Cucamonga will take the local. Those going to Azusa will board the Super Chief, walk back to the last car, and get off. You're there.
I'd like to have a couple of magazines.
Magazines? Sure, Mary. Wait here. I'll go over to the newsstand and get some. Oh, Mister.
Yeah?
I'd like to get some magazines to read on the train. What have you got?
We've got Flick, Pick, Pete, Look, Hook, Snook, Judge, Smudge, Fudge, and the Saturday Evening Post.
Well, I think I'll just take this one, Esquire.
That'll be 75 cents.
75 cents for Esquire, but everybody else only charges 50 cents.
We throw in the scissors and thumbtacks.
Well, I think I'll take something else.
I've got a good book you might enjoy reading. It's called I Stand Condemned.
No, I've already...
It's about a man who goes to the electric chair and leaves 3 lovely children. You should live so and long.
I read that. Anyway, I'll take these magazines here. Thank you. Here you are, Mary.
What'd you get?
Click, Pick, Peek, Look, Hook, Snook, Judge, Smudge, Fudge, and Pravda.
Say, Jack, here comes Dennis.
Oh, yes.
Hello,
you a little late.
Hello, Dennis.
My mother came down to see me off.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Day.
Hello.
Mr. Benny, once my boy gets on that train, it's your responsibility.
I know.
And when you get to New York, I want you to take better care of Dennis than you did last time. Don't be taking him to that place called Minsky's.
Minsky's?
Why, Jack Benny, did you take Dennis to a burlesque show?
Mary, Minsky's happens to be the name of a delicatessen. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Yes, sir.
See?
Oh, Mr. Benny.
Yeah?
Remember that third salami from the end?
What? Damn it!
For Kansas City, Chicago, and New Amsterdam will be ready in 10 minutes.
Oh, gosh, Jack, that's us, and I wanted a bite to eat before we got on the train.
Well, Mary, there's a little stand right over here at the corner of the station. I'll go get you something there.
Pickle in the middle and the mustard on top. Just the way you like them, and they're all there.
2 hot dogs, please.
Purple puppies coming up.
How much are they?
40 cents.
40 cents for only 2 hot dogs?
But this week I'm serving them United Nations style.
What's that?
English mustard, French bread, Russian dressing, and sold American.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take them.
Okay, here you are.
And here's your money.
Thank you. After you finish the hot dogs, I'll give you back 2 cents for the skins.
What do you want the skins back for?
They are the fingers of my rubber glove.
I better take some for the rest of the gang. Give me 3 more hot dogs, please.
Okay. Do you want everything on them?
Yes.
Good. I just dropped them.
Just give me the hot dogs. Here's your money.
Thank you. Pickle in the middle and the mustard on top.
On track 7, the fleet leaving for Kansas City. Chicago in the middle and the
I feel like I'm leaving from a jukebox.
Jack, hurry up.
Right with you.
Hello, everybody. Got here just in time. Jack, there's your publicity man, Steve Bradley.
Oh, yes. Goodbye, Steve.
All right, you don't. I came down here to get some pictures. Now, come on, line up, everybody. Penny, you stand right here.
But, Steve, we...
Now, take those roses and hold them up there in front of you.
Roses? What are they for?
You're going to put them on Wilbur's grave.
I didn't even know Wilbur.
All right, just give him the flowers. You don't have to talk to him.
Now, look, Steve.
Hold it. Come on, everybody.
Steve, the train is moving.
That's fine. One more, you better line in front of the engine. Now, put that off.
Hurry, Jack. Come on, Phil.
Come on, Dennis. Goodbye, Mrs. Day.
Goodbye. Have a nice trip. Goodbye, Mrs. Day. Goodbye. Have a lovely time.
Goodbye, Mrs. Day. I'll take good care of Dennis, and when we get to New York...
Shut up!
Isn't that awful?
Hurry, Judge. The train's moving.
Okay, Don. I'm on.
Will all visitors please clear the platform?
You know, Benita, I can hardly believe it.
But, Ronnie, it's true. You saw him get on the train.
Yes, Benny's really gone. And we'll have 4 glorious weeks of peace and quiet. Benita!
Ronnie, put me down. I didn't think it'd affect you this much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the government has developed a far-reaching program to help our veterans, and all America has concentrated on the job of...
Well, Mary, next Sunday we'll be broadcasting from Chicago and the following 2 weeks from New York.
Jack, when we get to Chicago, are you going to visit Waukegan?
Yes, I have to, Mary. They begged me to come. I don't know why I'm so irresistible. There, I got it right. I'll let Alan make something out of that. Good night, folks.
Good health to all from Rexall. Yes, it's Sunday, time for the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist, taking a little time from behind the prescription counter this Sunday evening to speak for all 10,000 of us. The 10,000 independent druggists who have added the word Rexall to our own store names. You can always tell us by the orange and blue Rexall sign on our windows. The sign means that we carry the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. They range all the way from aspirin to penicillin, and they're as fine and pure and dependable as science can make them. We independent druggists recommend them to our customers because we know you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. And now your Rexall family druggist brings you the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. Written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. A lot of married men are inclined to completely forget anniversaries and birthdays, but not Phil. Being a thoughtful and romantic husband, we find him shopping for a present for Alice's birthday, which was only 2 days ago. Frankie is with him.
Gee, Frankie, there must be something in this department store I can get for Alice, but I haven't seen anything yet.
How about some jewelry?
Nah.
Perfume? Fur coat?
No, Alice has got all that stuff. That blonde's loaded. I want to get her something that's practical. You know, something she can use.
How about a girdle with a built-in money belt?
That's comedy, huh? Big joke, huh? Pretty funny kid, huh? Get down, Rex. Look, Groucho, I'm trying to tell you I forgot to get something for Alice's birthday, and I want to buy her something special. Now, if you help me pick something she likes, I'll tell her, and maybe she won't dislike you so much.
What do you mean, dislike me?
Well, after living at our house for 4 weeks and practically causing Alice to have a nervous breakdown, she's learned to hate you a little.
Now it's ripened into hate. I don't believe you, Curly. How could anybody learn to hate me?
They give mail order courses on that subject. Guggenheim is thinking of giving a scholarship for it. You convinced? You sold?
You made your point, so...
Okay, we'll go on from there. Now, there must be something in this lingerie department that Alice would...
Hey, Curly, there's something over there that Alice would like.
Where?
That thing over there, with the flower.
What's she going to do with a floor walker?
I mean, on that model who's walking around. See her?
Yeah. Hey, that's a lovely negligee. Beautiful coloring, nice lines, smart styling.
Her legs ain't bad either. And if you'll notice her figure...
Frankie, please. I am a married man, and I have no desire to look at other women.
Where'd that come from?
Alice makes me write it on the blackboard 500 times every morning. Frankie, I'm going to take that negligee. Look, I'm late for an appointment at the song publishers. You buy it. I'll meet you at the house later.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. You got to pay for this stuff, you know. What am I going to use for money?
I got a charge account here. Just charge it. So long.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
What?
If you see anything else Alice would like, buy it and put it on my charge account.
Okay.
So long.
Yeah. Should charge anything Alice likes, huh? I wonder where the men's department is. She ought to like me in a new blue serge suit.
Hello, Willie.
Good morning, Alice. I received your telephone message. What did you want to see me about?
Well, look, the other day I heard Mother say she was tired of living in an apartment and she'd like to have a house of her own. Why don't you and I buy one for her?
Why, that is a splendid idea, Alice. Mother will love it. How much do you think it will cost?
Now, Willie, who cares about the cost? After all, nothing's too good for our mother.
By George, you're right. Let's chip in your money and buy her the best.
My money? Willie, don't you think it's about time you spent some of your own money for a change?
Pretty well, if you're going to be cheap about this. I'll chip in, too. What kind of a place should we buy for Mother?
Well, I was thinking of buying a small house in the country.
Mommy, Alice and I want to ask you something about
Now, later, girls, please. As I was saying, Willie, I'd love to buy a small house in the country. You know, a large house is too much work for a woman when she gets older. I'd like to get a cute cottage away from everything.
Well, I hope you get one, Alice. Well, I must run along now. If you find a place and want some cash as a down payment, I'll be glad to help you.
Will you really?
Yes, just call me and I'll run over to your bank and take out as much as you need. Bye, Alice. Goodbye, children.
Goodbye, Uncle Willie. Bye. Mommy, why do you want a small house in the country?
Oh, I'll tell you later, girls. What did you want to ask me?
Did Daddy buy you a birthday present yet?
No, he didn't. He forgot it again.
Was Daddy always so forgetful?
No. Before we were married, he was very thoughtful and attentive. Seems all men are like that.
Why did they change after they get married?
Well, honey, it's like when they go fishing. Before they catch the fish, they use all kinds of expensive bait. But once they hook it, they throw it in the bottom of the boat and forget it.
Daddy been married?
Honey, I've been flopping around in the bottom of that boat for 8 years now. Oh, it's really not that bad. It's just that at times I get a little peeved at him. But I get over it. I can't stay mad because I've got a crush on you. Sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh. I never had the least notion that I could fall with so much emotion. Could you coo? Could you care for a cunning cottage we could share? The world will pardon my mother, 'cause I've got a crush, my baby, on you.
I've got a crush on you, city pie, all the day and night time, every song.
I never had the least notion that I could fall with so much emotion. Could you care? Could you coo? For a cunning cottage we could share. The world will pardon my mother, 'cause I've got a crush on you. No one else but you.
Gee, that was pretty, Mommy. And don't worry, Daddy went shopping today. I think he's going to get you a present.
Do you think so? I hope he doesn't get me another negligee. For 8 years, no matter what the occasion, it's always a negligee. I hope...
Hiya, kids. Hello, honey.
Hello, Phil. Have you got something for me? Have you? Huh?
Have I? I sure have, baby. Ah, look at her sway. Harris, you better keep your lips in a lead-lined box. You got a dangerous weapon there. You all right, honey?
Oh, I'll come to as soon as I have a cold shower.
Hey, Alice, did Frankie get here yet?
No, he didn't. And, Phil, I'm disappointed in you. I thought sure you went downtown to get something for my birthday.
Well, I did, honey. I got something. I didn't bring it with me, but it should be here soon. I went... Uh-oh. That's probably your present now.
Oh, my present's here. I'll answer it. Gee, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what I'm getting.
Hello, Alice. It's me.
Just what I needed, a left-handed guitar player.
Fine reception. I'd get a better greeting if I was Drew Pearson calling on the president. I got a present here for your birthday that I brought over.
Oh, Frankie, you bought me a birthday present?
But, Alice...
Oh, you're a darling. You're so sweet.
Look, this present
I
isn't...
appreciate this, and I'm going to give you a great big kiss.
But this... Oh, well, I tried. Go ahead, Blondie. I'm puckered up.
All right, Frankie. There.
On the cheek? Alice, this is an expensive present. Let's try it again. This time was...
Wait a minute, Remley. You finally got here, huh? Where's the present for Alice?
I was just about to give it to her.
Yes, and it's more than you did, Phil. Frankie, you're much more considerate than Phil.
I know. Makes you sort of feel you married the wrong man, doesn't it?
Now, wait a minute. Give me that package, Remley. Here you are, Alice. This is a birthday present from me.
But, Curly...
Oh, thank you, Phil. And honey, I'm sorry I was so hasty.
Ah, no, that's all right. But go ahead. Open it.
Curly, I tell you that...
Oh, gee, I can't wait to see what's in it. Oh.
Well, how do you like it, honey?
Well, it's very nice, but do you think I'll look good in a blue serge suit size 42?
A blue serge suit?
It's your own fault. You grabbed the wrong package. This is the one for Alice.
Well, let me have it. I'm dying to see what it is.
Remley, whose new suit is this, and where'd you get it?
Mine. I bought it at the store. You said I could charge anything I liked.
That ain't what I said. I said anything Alice liked.
So I ad-libbed a little. You'll love the suit on me, Curly, and it only cost $125.
$125 for a suit?
I got a baseball bat with it.
Look, Remley, you're taking that suit back.
All right, I'll return it and get the money instead. I'm easy to get along with.
Oh, you darling boy, you. Look, Alice, how you like your present?
Oh, it's a beautiful negligee. It'll look gorgeous hanging up with the other 247 you've given me.
You sound disappointed.
Well, I am a little. It's beautiful, Phil, but you always buy me the same thing. You could have bought me something different on my 22nd birthday.
But, Alice, I didn't even know you on your 22nd birthday. Look, honey, now you're amongst friends. You can mention your right age.
All right. So I took off a year. I'm 23.
Hold it. Now, once and for all, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Alice, how old were you when you started in show business?
Oh, I was only 16 when I started in the chorus.
Uh-huh. And how long were you in the chorus?
5 years.
And how long were you in pictures?
12 years.
And how long have we been married?
It seems like only yesterday, darling. Thought you had me, didn't you?
I got you anyway. 16, 5, and 12. 16, 5, and 12 add up to 23?
Of course. 6 and 5 is 11, and 2 is 13, and 1 and 1 is 2. There you are, 23.
Thank you, Mrs. Einstein. Alice, you didn't carry over the 1.
Why should I? If it can't get over by itself, I'm not going to help it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd better hang up this negligee. And thanks again for the present, Phil.
Hey, Curly.
What?
It's none of my business, but your child bride didn't seem to care much for her present.
Can't say that I blame her. I didn't show much thought in picking it for her. I should have gotten her something nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what she'd really like.
Daddy,
something that...
could I...
Hey, baby Alice. Hello. Hey, you might be able to help me. Did you ever hear your mother say she wanted anything in particular?
No, Daddy, I never heard her say she... Oh, yes, I did, too. This morning I heard her tell Uncle Willie she'd love a small house in the country.
Small house in the country?
Yes. She said a big house is too much work for an old woman.
True. You know something, Remley? That's the solution. If Alice wants a small house in the country, I'm going to buy one for her. I'm tired of this big house, too. Come on, let's go look for a real estate agent.
Hey, Curly, you don't have to look. I know a real estate agent. And if you let me handle it for you, he'll split the commission with me. You don't mind, do you?
No, it's okay with me. If the guy's got some nice houses, I can...
Oh, yeah.
You know something? If I could just find the right place for Alice, I know it'd make her happy.
Mm-hmm.
A little house in the country.
Yeah.
You know, when you make a person happy, it's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like getting religion. The old-time kind. It fixes it.
Curly, stop knocking yourself out trying to get into a song. If you want to sing old-time religion, just go ahead and sing it.
Thank you, Francis. Give me that old-time religion, that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion, 'cause it's good enough for me. It was good for Paul and Silas, good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas, and it's good enough for me. Show me that place by the river, that place by the river. Show me that place by the river on Jordan's sunny shore.
What say Daniel from the lions? Say Daniel from the lions. What up Daniel with the lions? Deacon starting telling me.
It was that old-time religion, old-time religion, yes, that old-time religion, and it's good enough for me.
Get up, Daniel, with the lions. it helped to set him free.
Well, if it was good enough for Daniel, then it's good enough for me.
Give me that old-time religion, that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion, it's good enough for me.
I'll be listening for Gabriel, listening for Gabriel. I'll be listening for Gabriel to blow on Judgment Day.
What helped David with Goliath? Helped David with Goliath. What helped David slay Goliath? What was it set him free?
Well, it was that old-time religion, old-time religion. Yes, that old-time religion, and it's good enough for me.
It helped David with Goliath. It helped to set him free.
Well, if it's good enough for David, then it's good enough for me. Give me that old-time religion, old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
Now what rescued Brother Jonah? What rescued Brother Jonah? What was it saved old Jonah from the belly of the whale?
Just that old-time religion, old-time religion. Yes, that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
It helped Jonah breathe the whale. Yes, it helped to set him free.
Well, if it's good enough for Joni, then it's good enough for me. So give me that old-time religion, that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Well, give me that old-time religion, that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yeah, give me that old-time religion, that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. How'd you like that, Frankie?
I wasn't listening. Come on now, let's go over and see Ben Duffy.
Ben Duffy? Who's he?
He's the real estate agent. Let's go.
Hey, Mr. Duffy, my uncle sent me over to find out if you found anybody to buy that house of yours hid yet.
Julius, nobody's going to pay $8,000 for a house that isn't worth more than $3,000. When I take people out to see that rat trap, they laugh at me.
Don't take them out to see it. Just show them the picture of it we gave you.
That picture was taken 40 years ago. House doesn't look anything like that anymore.
Well, maybe not, but you never know when some sucker might come in who...
Hello, Mr. Duffy.
Oh, hiya, Remley. What can I do for you?
I got a customer for you. Mr. Harris here wants to buy a house.
Yeah, Mr. Duffy, I'm looking for a small place out in the country.
This must be fate. I just mentioned sucker and up he pops. This is better than having a magic lamp.
Hey, Julius, what are you doing here?
This is destiny. Kismet has sent me to you.
I don't know who sent you, but tell him I'm sending you back.
I can help you, Mr. Harris. You're looking for a place in the country, and my uncle happens to have one for sale.
Yeah? Well, I might be interested in... Hey, wait a minute. What's that place look like?
Oh, it's beautiful. I got a picture here. See for yourself.
Yeah. Nice-looking layout, Remley.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Julius, how much your uncle want for this place?
Curly, please, let me handle the financial details for you. I can outsmart this kid and get it for you cheap.
Okay, but remember, I don't want to go any higher than $15,000, so you better start at $10,000 and bargain with him. Try to make a fast deal.
Curly, I'm your broker. I know what I'm doing. Mr. Abruzio, how much do you want for this abode?
$8,000.
Oh, no, you don't. My client's bottom offer is $10,000, and it'll only go as high as... Hey, Curly, was that deal fast enough for you?
Oh, yeah, fast. I was just jet-propelled out of 7,000. He only wanted 8. Why'd you give him 15?
I get a bigger commission that way.
I'll handle this myself and get a better deal. Julius, I ain't going to give you but $5,000 for this house.
Are you kidding? I just sold it for 15.
Don't be a wise guy. I'll give you 6.
Make it 14.
8.
13.
10.
12.
14.
15.
16.
No!
That's better. You see, Frankie, I got it for 16. What happened?
You outsmarted the kid. You only paid $1,000 more than I did.
I don't care. I was tricked, and I ain't going to give no 16.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're a friend of mine. I'll let you have it for 10. But my uncle wants it in cash.
Okay. But before I make a deal, I want to see the house first.
Oh. Well, if you want to see it first, you'll have to pay a small deposit.
How much?
$10,000.
10,000?
14,000.
15.
16.
No!
Will you two cut that out? Julius, I'm going to give your uncle a $500 deposit.
Okay, give me the check.
All right.
I'll make a nice commission on this deal.
Here's the check, Julius.
Thanks. I'll be seeing you, Mr. Harris.
Hey, wait a minute, kid. Look, if I don't like the house, I want my deposit back from your uncle.
Oh, sure. He'll give it back to you.
Where'll I find him?
How should I know where he's going to be hiding out?
Hiding out? I wonder what that means. What kind of talk?
No, it's nothing at all, Curly. It's nothing. Now then, Mr. Duffy, how much can you give us for the house Mr. Harris is living in now?
Frankie.
Huh?
What are you selling my house for?
Well, you won't need it if you're moving into the other house. You can't live in two places at once.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Say, Mr. Duffy, how much can you get me
Curly,
for my house?
are you trying to do me out of my commissions? I'll handle this. Mr. Duffy, it cost Mr. Harris $35,000 to have his house built. How much would you give me for it?
$25,000.
I'll take 16.
No! Say, Remley, is that number habit forming? The man offered 25.
That's right, Mr. Harris. I have a customer, a Mr. Schwartz, who's always been interested in your house. He'll snap it up at $25,000.
Well, if that's the best I can do, that's the best I can do. Tell Mr. Schwartz he can have it.
Fine, just sign this bill of sale. It's a deal.
Okay. Hey, Remley.
Yeah?
I can't wait to get home and tell Alice about our new little cottage in the country.
What are you so excited about, Phil?
Go on, Curly, tell her.
Hey, Alice, have I got a surprise for you? The children told me you wanted a small house in the country, so I went out and bought one for you as a birthday present.
Oh, Phil, that's the best birthday present you could give me. You're the sweetest man in the world.
Yeah, you just ain't chomping your gums, baby.
Oh, it isn't every man who buys a house for his mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law? Oh, Alice, I thought you wanted to move into a smaller house.
Oh, don't be silly. You couldn't get me out of this house. I love this place, and I intend to spend the rest of my life here with just you and the children.
And Mr. Schwartz.
Who's Mr. Schwartz?
Oh, he's just the guy I sold this house. Sold it! Oh, no!
Phil, you sold this
Now,
house.
wait a minute, honey. You see, I thought...
Oh, never mind what you thought. You buy it back and do it right away, goon.
Let's go on. Come on, Remley, let's go. Oh, brother, am I in trouble? You think Schwartz will sell my house back to me?
Oh, I'll get it back for you, Curly. It'll be a steal at $30,000.
$30,000? Frankie, that's $5,000 more than I sold it for, and the other house cost me $10,000. Where am I going to get that kind of money?
Don't worry, Curly. I'm your pal. I'll help you out. I can loan you $1,800 at the legal rate of interest, 20%.
You'll lend me?
Mm-hmm.
Hold it, Orville.
What?
Just 1 second. Where did you get $1,800?
From my commissions on all those houses I bought and sold for you.
I wonder how you set a booby trap in a left-handed guitar.
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's a fellow with some questions for our Rexall family druggist.
Say, where can I find a Rexall drugstore?
Well, they're all over the country, my friend. 10,000 of them. Most of them independent family druggists like me. And you can always tell them by the orange and blue Rexall sign on their windows.
And that sign means they sell Rexall drug products?
Exactly. More than 2,000 of them. We Rexall druggists may disagree about politics and baseball teams, but there's one thing we're really sold on.
Rexall drug products?
Right, my friend. You see, we druggists know that Rexall products are carefully and purely compounded, that they're tested over and over again, and that they're constantly being improved by the never-ending research that goes on in Rexall's big laboratories. So, when our customers ask us to recommend a brand, we just naturally tell them...
You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Now, how did you know that?
Because I found it out for myself. Why do you think I was looking for a Rexall drugstore in the first place?
Good health to all from Rexall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Phil again. Maybe some of you have never seen a kid who couldn't walk or talk or even feed himself. Even if you haven't, I know you want to do something to help them. And here's your opportunity. Buy Easter seals. Buy a lot of them. These small seals provide the special medical and vocational services that crippled children need. So please, buy Easter seals. Good night.
Good night now.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliott Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley. Included in today's cast was Leo Cleary. Alice Faye appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox. This is Bill Foreman wishing good health to all from Rexall.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company. Theater.
Yes, it's Sealtest Variety Theater with Henry Russell and his orchestra, the Crew Chiefs Quartet, Walt Keegan's answer to Yasha Heifetz, Jack Benny, and one of America's favorite song and dance men, George Murphy. And here she is, our gal Thursday, the singing star of Variety Theater, Dorothy Lamour.
Thank you and hello, everyone. Like the man says, there's good news tonight. In one corner is my old friend, a broth of a lad if I ever saw one, and begorra I've seen one, George Murphy. And in the other corner, that suave, slave-driving boss of mine. Just finished a picture for him. Jack Benny. Boys, take a bow.
Say, Dottie, did you two really just finish a picture together?
Together? I worked for him. Brother, what a boss. You should have seen that picture contract he drew up. Wow.
I didn't think it was so bad. It was a standard contract.
That was a standard contract? What about Clause 42C?
What is wrong with that clause?
Who ever heard of the star doing the producer's laundry?
Well, I did it when I worked for the Warner Brothers. There are two of them. By the way, Dottie, how did you like working for Jack?
I don't know. I worked for Benny.
You mean,
Yes, no Jack.
Hey, that's pretty good, Dorothy. You're a good comedian. Have you ever done any comedy?
Well, I worked with Bob Hope.
That's a pretty good start, yeah. Oh, George, I wanted to talk to you, too. You know, I'm thinking of making a musical picture, and I'd like to use you and Dorothy. I can just see the name up in lights now. Jack Benny Presents.
Now, wait a minute. What about Lamour and Murphy in lights?
Look, kid, let's not go crazy working for the electric company, you know. It's enough, just my name.
Jack, George, Dottie, Tom, Dick, and Harry, Oscar, Herman, Julian, and even Stanislaus, please stand by and spare us half a mo. No less, no mo.
Get the best, get Sealtest.
When the youngsters get that ice cream gleam in their eyes, you're likely to hear,
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
and the biggest shout of all goes up for Sealtest ice cream. It's the top-ranking favorite with both grown-ups and growing-ups. You know why? Because flavor for flavor, there is no ice cream that matches Sealtest for pure goodness. It's better in every way. In smooth as velvet texture, in creamy richness, in wonderful lip-smacking flavor. Next time you crave ice cream, make it Sealtest, the outstanding quality ice cream of America. Always
Get the best, get Sealtest.
And here's Dottie, who not only does her Christmas mailing early, but her Christmas singing, too. So ready for the bottom of your tree is a lovely little vocal package, all tied up nice and pretty with buttons and bows.
East is east and west is west, and the wrong one I have chose. Let's go where I'll keep on wearing those frills and flowers and buttons and bows, rings and things and buttons and bows. Don't bury me in this prairie, take me where the cement grows. Let's move down to some big town where they love a gal by the cut of her clothes. I'll stand out in buttons and bows. I love you in buckskin or shirts that I've homespun, but I love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't tote a gun. My bones denounce the buckboard bounce, and the cactus hurts my toes. Let's all move where gals keep us in those silks and satins and linens that show, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows. Give me Eastern trimming where women are women in high silk hose and the peekaboo pose, the French perfume that rocks the room, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows. As far as the man standing next to me is concerned, and as far as introducing him is concerned, I'm what you might call stuck. There's so much to say, especially when the guy in question happens to be a very close friend. So I'll put it this way. If you were introducing George Murphy, what would you say? That's what I thought. Well, George, Carlton Cadell's ready to set the scene, so we'd better stand by.
Right, Dottie. As our comedy sketch opens, we find ourselves at Lacey's department store. The curtain rises on a scene in the interior of this rather exclusive establishment as a young man approaches the floor walker.
Excuse me, sir. Could you help me out?
I'd be delighted. Anything in particular?
Well, I have quite a few Christmas gifts to buy, and I'm sort of at loose ends.
Well, I have just the person to tie you together. Would you mind stepping this way? Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Cruzvine.
Good morning, Miss Lay. Miss Lay is our new gift counselor. She'll make us loads of suggestions, won't you, Miss Lay?
Yes, Mr. Cruzvine. Now, if you'll tell me how many there are on the list and what you'd care to spend.
Well, let's see now. As far as the ladies are concerned, there are some blondes and brunettes and miscellaneous. The list is very long.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to be more specific.
Well, there's Dolores with the dancing eyes and Gloria with the dancing eyes and Marion. Oh, that Marion, what a figure.
Well, what about her dancing eyes?
Eyes? Oh, I never noticed.
Well, why don't I take you around the store and let you see what we're showing on the models? Then you can tell how your friends will look on Christmas morning.
Oh, models, live ones. Say, that's a ginger peachy idea. Leave us go.
Sorry, this elevator's all full. I have a good mind to take one of these elevators and run it myself.
Now, what makes you think you could run an elevator?
Are you kidding? The ones at Marshall Field's didn't run sideways, you know. Now, this is the fur department. We have silver foxes, blue foxes, IJ foxes, sheared beaver, cleared beaver, seared beaver, and sable. Oh, Mabel, how much is that sable you're wearing?
$15,000.
One of your girlfriends would look awfully smart in that $15,000 coat.
She might look awfully smart, but I'd look awfully silly walking beside her in a $4 barrel.
Now, this is the bathing suit department. Perhaps you'll find something you like in here.
Oh, I'm sure I will, sure.
Now, this Parisienne number is only $27.50.
Where is it?
Right here in my hand.
Oh, I didn't see it. Say, there's not much to it, is there?
Well, frankly, if they make the bathing suits much skimpier, I don't know what's going to happen.
Neither do I, but I want to be there when it does.
Well, it looks like you've gotten everything you wanted. That comes to 1756.32. Now, where shall I send all of them?
No place. Now, look, why don't we...
I said, where shall I send them?
Oh, Dottie, please,
You mean you've been wasting my time? You're not going to buy these gifts to send to your friends?
Oh, honest, I haven't got any friends. Come on, honey, let's go home.
Go home? Why, you come in here, flaunt all those blondes, brunettes, and miscellaneous in my face, and then ask me to go home. Why do you think I left you in the first place? Dolores with the dancing eyes. Huh!
Oh, honest, honey, I don't even know those girls. I was just trying to make you jealous.
Well, you certainly succeeded. Brother, how you succeeded. Look, I got myself a job. I'm doing all right. Now, please.
Oh, honey, but I'm lonesome. I haven't even stirred out of the house since you left.
If I hadn't known you for 3 years before we got married, I might believe that.
Well, just to prove it to you, look, you see these Argyle socks?
What about them?
Well, I knitted them myself. And 2 sweaters.
Well, it's no use. Skip it, forget it, drop it, and beat it.
Oh, gee, just the night before you left, didn't I kiss you right in front of everyone?
That was just to give the children a sense of security.
Well, how are the kids anyhow?
They're fine, just fine.
Gee, I miss them. I miss everything about them. The piggyback rides and the Sloan's liniment on the shoulders, and the football games and the Sloan's liniment on the back, and the 5-hour sessions at the hitching post and the Sloan's liniment.
You should have thought of that when you came home with lipstick on your handkerchief.
That was not lipstick. I had a nosebleed.
Well, if that was blood, Sonny, your corpuscles are full of Chanel number 5.
Oh, Dottie, come on. Won't you come home?
Why? Do you miss my dancing eyes?
As a matter of fact, darling, I do miss your dancing eyes and all the other things about you. It would have been nice, though, all of us back together again. You know, Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah, wouldn't it?
I wonder whether the Salvation Army takes care of lonely husbands.
Oh, you fool, you big fool. Come here.
Oh, darling.
You dear, sweet fool.
Mommy, please. How many times have I told you there's no Santa Claus at this store? There's no Santa Claus.
Excuse me, lady. Excuse me just a minute, but I heard you tell that little boy something.
What about it?
Well, I've got news for you. Believe me, there really is a Santa Claus.
Now the seaworthy crew chief, Captain Henry Russell, the orchestra, and a bottle of soy sauce set sail for the Orient on a slow boat to China.
I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Sleep of your lovers weeping on the faraway shore. Out on the briny with a moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
All kinds of tests are being made these days, but when it comes to judging the goodness of ice cream, Sealtest meets the real test. I mean, your own taste test. You buy the ice cream you like the best, and Sealtest is America's first choice. It outsells all other ice cream by a wide margin. That's the real test, all right. Proof that it's tops in rich, full-bodied flavor, in smooth, creamy texture, in pure goodness. And rigid Sealtest quality control keeps it that way. Every quart, every pint, every spoonful is better in every way. So whenever you crave ice cream,
get the best, get Sealtest.
Say, Dottie, before you tell the people about the new Jack Benny, Jack Benny, the movie producer, what are you going to sing?
Jack, it's a song first published on January 15th, 1930 by the Whitmark Publishing Company, 1256 Avenue, New York City, written by Al Dubin and Joe Burke, and first sung at the Silver Slipper Cafe at 1133 Broadway, New York City on May 30th, 1930, and the title is For You.
Is there time left to sing it?
Stars out of the blue for you, I'll wear a string of pearls made of the blue for you. The highway and over the street, carpets of clover, I lay at your feet. Oh, there's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you. For you, for you, for you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all familiar with our next guest, Jack Benny. A top-flight comedian for many years, Jack Benny has kept millions of people laughing on both screen and radio. Recently, Jack has added another facet to his already brilliant career, and he is now a full-fledged motion picture producer. In fact, along with Brian Donlevy and Claire Trevor, I had the pleasure of appearing in Mr. Benny's first production, The Lucky Stiff, which will soon be released. But to give you an idea of how much this new responsibility has changed Jack, we'll turn back the clock to yesterday afternoon when I visited him at his office to say hello and pick up my check, which was 3 months late. When I walked in, Jack was dictating a letter to his very pretty secretary.
Now, let's see. Inasmuch as The Lucky Stiff is my first picture, read that back to me, Miss Lindsay. The whole thing.
Dear sir, inasmuch as The Lucky Stiff is my first picture...
It sounds pretty good so far. Now, Miss Lindsay, what are you laughing at?
That fountain pen in your pocket is tickling my ribs.
Oh, well, let me move it. There. Now, is the fountain pen bothering you?
No, this is fine.
Hello, Jack. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Oh, well, that's all right. Come in, Dorothy. I got something in my eye, and my secretary was just trying to take it out.
She must have been taking it out with her teeth. You've got lipstick all over your face.
I have? Well, that'll be all, Miss Lindsay. I'd like to get up now. Thanks.
Where do you want me to send the letter?
The letter? What letter? Oh, yes, the letter, yes. Just say, I cannot see the advisability of a tie-up between your company and the Lucky Stiff at this time. Send it to Forest Lawn. Use a cent-and-a-half stamp. You see, don't seal the envelope. Just tuck in the flap. And it'll get there, you know.
Yes, honey. Yes, sir, Mr. Benny. That's a very attractive secretary you have, Jack.
Yeah, she's very efficient, too. She was recommended to me by Georgie Jessel. By the way, Dorothy, did you get that package I sent over to your house?
Yes, it came this morning, and I want to thank you very much.
Well, I understand it's customary for the producer to present the star with a gift when the picture is finished.
Well, I still think it was very sweet of you. How did you know I'll experiment?
Well, I just took a chance. You know, it's awfully hard to pick out a present for a girl like you, Dorothy. You've got everything, you know.
Not quite, Jack. I still haven't received my last salary check.
Oh, yes, it's right here on my desk. I was wondering when you were going to come in and pick it up. I was thinking maybe you'd forgotten about it, you know. Here it is, Dorothy.
Thanks. Well, let go of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just stuck to my fingers.
Oh, that's all right.
You have a hard time saying corpuscles, haven't you? I was just... I didn't know. I heard it before. I didn't know.
That's right, Jack. Say.
Well, nothing hard, you know, just corpuscles, just like blood, doesn't it? Go ahead.
I got no blood left. That's all right, Jack. Say, while I think of it, don't forget you're going to be a guest on my program tomorrow night. Write some jokes like that.
Yes. I almost forgot it. I've been so busy. When I come on your program, what do I talk about?
Well, you can mention that you're a producer now and how different it is.
Well, I don't know whether I ought to do that, Dorothy. You see, if I talk about the Lucky Stiff, I'll have to say it's a Jack Benny production, produced by Jack Benny, a Jack Benny presentation, you know. It might sound like I'm plugging myself too much. You know.
Well, maybe you'll think of something else.
I doubt it. Oh, Dottie, I forgot to tell you. You know, we had a sneak preview of the Lucky Stiff last night. And after come back here. We're over, you know, in about 3 minutes. And after the picture was over, I went out in the lobby and mingled with the people to get their reaction of the picture, and they loved it.
Well, didn't they recognize you?
No. You see, I wore a white cap and apron, and I pretended I was selling popcorn, you know. I sold over 100 bags in 5 minutes. Isn't that remarkable?
Gee, it sounds like we've got a hit.
Sure, and you can't even say corpuscles, and you can Oh, the picture, Dottie, the picture can't miss. Now, remember the scene where Brian Dunleavy and Claire Trevor walk in, and you...
Oh, Mr. Benny, can I see you for a moment?
What's wrong, Miss Lindsay?
It's that writer you hired yesterday. He's sick.
Already? They always wait till they're on salary, and then they get sick. What's the matter with him?
He's coughing, shivering, sneezing, and sniffling.
Well, give him a 4-way cold tablet and tell him to lie down for a few minutes. He can be sick on his own time.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. Jack, aren't you afraid you'll spoil your writer coddling him that way?
Oh, I can't help it, Dorothy. I try to be tough, but I guess I just haven't got it in me, you know. I don't know, I'm just a big, soft-hearted slob, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Huh?
I guess I'll run along, Jack. Thanks for the check.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't go yet, Dorothy. There's something I want to talk to you about. A new story that I
Mr. Benny, Lou Foster, your director's here. He wants to see you.
Oh, yes. Send him in, by all means. Dorothy, isn't Lou Foster a wonderful director?
Oh,
a
yes.
great guy, isn't
and
he?
he's a great director, too.
Oh, pardon me.
Stop jumping my lines. I've seen him handle the most difficult actors and never once lose his temper.
I'll kill him! I'll strangle that Benny with my bare hands. Oh, there you are, you double-crosser.
Now, Lou, Mr. Foster, take it easy. Now, put down that megaphone.
Lou,
now,
I'm surprised at you. I've never seen you act this way.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dorothy, but you don't know what I've been through with this man. It's been agony.
Oh, I don't know. Name one producer who could have done a better job in this picture than I did. Name one. Just one.
Sam Goldwyn, Hal Wallace, Darrell Zanuck.
You named three. I only asked you to name one. Couldn't even name one.
Now, Lou, try to control your temper.
Oh, I've tried. Believe me. I didn't mind when Benny made me shoot a mob scene with only 4 people.
I wanted a small mob, that's all. 1 million people for a mob scene.
I didn't care when he wanted me to make the actors work twice as fast and shoot the picture in slow motion to save time.
And money, that's important too, you know.
But when he stuck in an added scene in the picture without even telling me about it, me, the director, that was the end.
But, Lou, what on earth happened?
Well, last night at the sneak preview, just as the picture was reaching the climax, Brian Donlevy flings open the closet to expose the killer, and who is sitting there but Jack Benny yelling, LS-MFT, LS!
Well, I think it's a very cute scene.
Jack, how could you use our picture to plug Lucky Strikes?
I beg your pardon. In this case, LSMFT means Lucky Stiff must fill theaters. I wasn't even thinking of Lucky Strikes, Miss Corpuscles.
All right, Mr. Benny. But if you insist on keeping that scene, then I'm going to add a scene. Another murder.
But, Lou, we can't possibly have another murder in the picture.
This one won't be in the picture. Think it over. Goodbye.
How do you like that? Looks like a short Don Wilson. Now, where were we, Dorothy?
I was sitting here and you were hiding under the desk.
Oh, yes. Well, anyway, I want to tell you about the story I bought for my next picture. I paid a lot of money for it. It's got...
Mr. Benny, the writer is feeling better now. He wants to eat lunch.
Oh. Well, here's the key. Let him out. I'll see that he gets back in half an hour.
Yes, sir.
As I was saying, Dorothy, there's a great part for you in this new story I bought.
Well, I'm always interested in a good part, Jack. What's it all about?
Well, look at. Oh, it's wonderful. Now, listen. You play the part of a deaf mute, a beautiful girl who can't hear or talk. Now, there's a villain who's responsible for all your unhappiness. But a handsome young doctor comes along and takes you out of your misery. It's a great story, never been done, and I've got a great title for it, too. Jimmy Belinda. What's the matter, Dorothy? Dorothy, don't you like it?
But, Jack, that's the story of Johnny Belinda.
What?
I saw the picture only last week. Jane Wyman played in it.
How do you like that? And I bought that story from Rochester. Wait till I get my hands on him, Jimmy Belinda.
Jack Benny, that was wonderful. I know your millions of friends will be all listening to you on your own Lucky Strike cigarette show next Sunday on this same network. And now, in just a few seconds, we're going to give you some great news about our guest for our own show next week.
Get the best, get Sealtest.
Santa Claus has good things in store, and so does your Sealtest dealer. Just wait till you taste Sealtest chocolate chip ice cream, the flavor of the month for December. It's something special. Creamy, rich vanilla ice cream chock full of real bittersweet chip chocolate. And say, here's another festive treat. Red raspberry tarts, the Sealtest dessert of the month. You'll find them an eyeful and a mouthful of the finest ice cream eating ever. Individual shells filled with wonderful Sealtest vanilla ice cream, topped with plenty of red ripe raspberries and honest-to-goodness whipped cream. A holiday green halo of it for a heavenly dish. Try both Sealtest red raspberry tarts and Sealtest chocolate chip ice cream. When you treat the family to ice cream,
get the best, get Sealtest.
and here again is your mistress of ceremonies, Dorothy Lamour.
Well, George Murphy and Jack Benny, visit us again real soon, won't you? And along with the fun, your appearance tonight contributes to a fine cause, the establishment of the American Federation of Radio Artists Welfare Insurance Fund. Next Thursday, our guests will be a pair of visitors from Wistful Vista, Fibber McGee and Molly, together with another great screen star, Edward Arnold. So until then, this is Dorothy Lamour saying keep well, keep happy, and keep listening.
Tonight's Sealtest Variety Theater was written by Howard Harris, Hugh Wedlock, and Howard Snyder. Direction is by Glenn Hall Taylor. George Murphy appeared through arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of the Technicolor motion picture Three Musketeers, starring Lana Turner, Gene Kelly, and June Allison. Tune in next Thursday at this same time when Sealtest Milk and Ice Cream again presents Sealtest Variety Theater, starring Dorothy Lamour, and as our guests, Edward Arnold and Fibber McGee and Molly. Sealtest Incorporated and associate companies are divisions of National Dairy Products Corporation. This is Carlton Cadell speaking.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Day.
I think I've seen worthwhile wells in your eyes and the spell of your smile.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Colgate Dental Cream and Luster Cream Shampoo. Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, B. Benaderet, Dink Trout, John Brown, Charles Dant in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis with the story of the blue-tailed fly.
When I was young, I used to wait on master and give him his place and pass the bottle when he got dry and brush away the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. And when he'd ride in the afternoon, I'd follow after with a hickory broom, the pony being rather shy. When bitten by a blue-tailed fly, Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. One day he on the farm, the flies so numerous they did swarm. One chance to bite him on the thigh. The devil take the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. The pony run, he jump, he pitch. He threw my master in the ditch. He died, and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. My master's gone away. They lay him under a simmon tree. His epitaph is there to see. Beneath this stone shall I, victim of the a blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. No other toothpaste does a better job of cleaning teeth than Colgate Dental Cream. For Colgate Dental Cream has a safe polishing agent that cleans your teeth both gently and thoroughly, brings out their natural sparkle and beauty. You can actually see and feel the difference. And scientific tests prove that Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Yes, actual scientific tests prove conclusively that in 7 out of 10 cases, Colgate instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. Colgate Dental Cream is famous for its wonderful wake-up flavor, too. Nationwide tests of leading toothpastes prove that Colgate's is preferred for flavor over every other brand tested. Yes, preferred over every other brand tested. And no wonder, for Colgate Dental Cream is the result of constant effort to produce the finest toothpaste in the world today. For cleaning teeth, for flavor, for sweetening breath. So see if you don't agree with the millions who have made Colgate Dental Cream America's favorite toothpaste. Try Colgate Dental Cream to bring out the natural sparkle and beauty of your teeth. For a wake-up flavor you'll thoroughly enjoy. And always use Colgate Dental Cream after you eat and before every date to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. Well, as you all know, we refer to Dennis Day as our young hero, and it's true, of course, that he's young. But never has that other word been used more loosely. That is, until today. For today, we find our hero a hero in truth, with his picture on page 1 of the Weaverville Gazette. How come, you ask? Well, let's listen as we find him now basking in his newly won glory at the breakfast table with Mildred and her mother.
Oh, Dennis, it's just the most marvelous thing in the world.
Dennis, how did it happen?
Well, I was walking down Elm Street through the ice and snow, and suddenly I saw Mr. Nicholson, the postman, lying on the pavement. Right away, I suspected something was wrong.
Why?
Well, his right arm seemed to be coming out of his left shoulder blade, and his left ankle was doubled under his right ear.
Oh, golly.
So I said to myself, this man may have had an accident.
That's what I call quick thinking.
Well, what did you do then, Dennis?
Well, I walked up to him and I asked him what was new.
I imagine he told you, didn't he?
Oh, yes, ma'am. He went on for quite a while. And then I asked him if I could do something for him, and he said no, he was in bad enough shape already.
Do you know each other, or did he just make a lucky guess?
Oh, I don't know, but I did realize maybe someone had a burst appendix or something and had written for a doctor.
Well, Dennis, when people need a doctor in an emergency, they generally don't write a letter.
Oh, Mildred, when you're being heroic, you don't have time to think of things like that.
Oh, I see. Well, go on.
Well, I picked up Mr. Nicholson's mail bag and slung it over my shoulder. And a few hours later, it was all over. The mail had gone through.
Well, it was a wonderful thing to do, Dennis. And I'm sure the people along your route are terribly grateful.
Yeah, you bet. Mrs. Dolan told me she never enjoyed getting letters so much in her life before.
You mean that old gossip who lives on the corner?
Yeah, I delivered somebody else's mail to her by mistake.
Oh, don't you worry about it, Dennis. I'm sure... Oh, hi, Daddy.
Morning, children. Morning, cinnamon bun.
Good morning, Herbert.
Hi, Mr. Anderson.
I just picked up the morning mail, Dennis, and there's a letter for you. Here you are.
For me? Gee, I wonder who it's from. I don't recognize the writing, but that may be because it's typewritten.
Why don't you open it? There may be some sort of clue inside.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Dear Mr. Holy smoke, it's from the post office department, and they've offered me a job.
A job?
A job?
Yeah, It seems Mr. Nicholson has decided to resign, and they want me to take his place.
You mean you're going to be a postman?
Sure.
Oh, just imagine that, Mother.
Yes. A thing like this could easily bring back the carrier pigeon.
Oh, Mother. Oh, did they say anything about salary, Dennis?
Well, let's see. Yes, they say I can start at $1,700 base pay.
$1,700?
Boy, if they think that's base, they ought to hear what Mr. Willoughby is paying me.
Well, you're going to take it, of course, aren't you, my boy?
Well, yes, sure, if I can get it, but it says here I have to pass an examination.
Oh, of course you'll pass. It's just a formality. You're going down to the store right now and tell Mr. Willoughby you're leaving him. Come on, I'll walk to the door with you.
Okay. I'll see you folks tonight.
Goodbye, Dennis.
Oh, Dennis, just think. If everything goes well with this new job, at last we can be married. Oh, won't it be wonderful?
Yeah, I'll certainly be glad to legalize our hand-holding. But right now, I'm thinking about breaking off with Mr. Willoughby. Gee, I've been with him such a long time, Mildred.
Oh, yes, but I'm sure he'll understand.
Maybe, but I'm afraid he'll take it kind of hard. You see, we're pretty fond of each other. There's never been a warmer master and slave relationship. Morning, Mr. Willoughby.
Good morning, Dennis.
I'm afraid there's something I have to tell you, Mr. Willoughby, and it won't be easy. We've always stuck together, you and I, no matter what.
Yes, we've had some pretty horrible whats, too.
Well, I guess you better prepare yourself for a shock, Mr. Willoughby. What would you say if I told you I've carried out the last pail of garbage for you?
Dennis, you've joined a union.
Oh, no, sir, it isn't that. I'm leaving you.
What?
Please, don't say anything. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Don't make it any more difficult for me. I must go.
Gosh, really?
Oh, it's grand of you to smile, grand. I don't think I could have stood seeing a tear trickle down your lovely old face.
Dennis, I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
You've done nothing, Mr. Willoughby.
Oh, nonsense. It must be a reward for something. But there are some things I'm going to miss you for at that.
I knew there were.
Yes, those unfilled orders, the broken bottles, deliveries to the wrong addresses, customers who complained they were sold axle grease instead of cold cream. You brought me adventure, Dennis. I'm going to miss you.
Can you stand it?
I think so.
Well, I guess this is it then, Mr. Willoughby.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I'll come back later, of course.
What's that?
Oh, just to visit and get my things.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll see you to the door.
Oh, no, I couldn't stand it. No lingering farewells. I just want to remember you as you are this minute. That big, firm nose, that receding hairline, those shifty eyes, that...
Dennis, if you're going, go!
Yes, sir. So long, old paint.
Come in.
How do you do, sir? My name is Dennis Day. I got a letter from you saying something about a personal examination.
Yes, so you're Mr. Day. Sit right down. I'm glad to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
We're very grateful to you, Mr. Day, and your appointment is virtually assured. So we've decided to give you a simple verbal or oral examination.
Good. Either one is okay with me.
Yes. And now then, we'll get busy on the form. Name, Dennis Day, of course. Any brothers or sisters, Mr. Day?
One of each.
Names, please.
John and Marie. Marie is the sister.
Yes, I had a hunch he was. And mother and father, Mr. Day?
Also one of each.
But what are their names?
Oh, Molly and Patrick.
Thank you. I think we can tell which is which at a glance.
Yes, sir.
And now then, Mr. Day, have you ever had any previous experience with the United States Post Office?
Oh, yes, sir. I've been one of your customers for years.
And we're intensely grateful to you. But you see, I'm trying to find out what you know about the Postal Service.
Oh.
For instance, have you ever heard of a Mayo Frank?
Oh, yes, sir. All the Franks I ever knew were.
Mr. Day, I always thought these examinations were pretty dull. You're changing all that.
Shall we go on?
You bet we shall. I'm going to a party tonight, and I just know I'll be the life of it. We come now to the examination proper, Mr. Day.
Yes, sir.
Now, our first group of questions are those requiring thought. Shall we throw them away?
Oh, no, sir.
All right, let's have fun. Question A is a geography question. Have you done any traveling around the country, Mr. Day?
Yes, sir. See, that was pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but that wasn't the question.
Oh.
The question is, in traveling between Chicago and Cleveland, what cities do you pass through?
New Orleans, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Omaha.
Mr. Day, just how have you done your traveling?
By troop train.
I beg your pardon. Your answer is accepted.
Thank you.
Now, our next question is one involving logic. Now, listen carefully before you answer. A mail sack is to letters as a purse is to horseback riding, cheese, or money.
It is?
Not all three of them, just one. You have your choice.
Oh, okay. Horseback riding.
I'm afraid I can't accept that.
But I thought you gave me my choice.
Today, a mail sack must be the same to letters that a purse is to money, mustn't it?
Not my purse.
Next question. Now, ordinarily, your mail route starts at 1st Avenue and ends at 3rd Avenue.
Uh-huh.
But today, your bag contains 4 pounds of mail for 1st Avenue, 8 pounds for 3rd Avenue, and 14 pounds for 2nd Avenue. So you sling the bag to your shoulder, and what do?
Fall down.
Today, I love you. Now, this last question is one you should take right in stride. Now, what's the difference between 1st class mail and 4th class mail?
2nd and 3rd?
I knew you wouldn't let me down. And that, Mr. Day, concludes the examination.
And I don't get the job?
Oh, on the contrary. Starting Monday, you'll be one of our regular mail carriers.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. You're getting the job because of what you did for the department. But do me a favor, will you?
What?
Lying on the street, give the post office a real break. Just let him lie there.
Hi, Willoughby, old man. How's tricks? Just dropped in to pick up my things.
Well, you're pretty flip, aren't you?
I just landed a job, Willoughby. A real job, of plenty of money. You're looking at a big man, pal.
You mean there's actually someone who'll pay you more than I did?
Are you kidding? They're starting me at $200 a month, and if I make good from then on, it's $25 a week.
Don't let them pay you by the hour, Dennis. You couldn't afford it.
You're just jealous because you know it'll be tough for you to replace me. I'm going back and get my things.
Okay.
Why, Mr. Nicholson, the postman.
Well, hello there, young fella.
Well, gosh, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm working here. Willoughby said he just lost the fella he had, so I took the job.
But your left leg is broken and both your arms are in a cast.
Yeah, I know, but he said I'd be more help to him this way than the other fella was when he...
Gee, Mr. Nicholson, I'm the other fella.
No.
Yes, and now I've got your old job with the post office.
Well, that's a funny one. Dang that we didn't swap jobs.
Yeah. Well, I sure hope you like it here. And, of course, at least you'll make the best of it.
Huh? Isn't it a good job?
Oh, the job is all right. It's just the work and the salary that's so horrible.
Well, you don't say. Well, I know you'll be happy in my old job. You'll like the people on the route. Old Doc Peterson, too.
Oh, is he on my route?
No, but you'll find him the best man in town for your pneumonia.
My pneumonia?
Oh, sure. When they say neither hail nor sleet nor gloom of night, they ain't kidding.
Gosh.
Oh, of course, you got to remember to keep on the lookout for Killer all the time, too.
Killer? Who's Killer?
Why, the Dolan's dog. That big bloodhound of theirs.
Oh, my gosh, and I've got some of the very stuffy hounds.
None to spare either, I see. Hey, you better be careful, son.
Boy, I'll say I will. Well, I better be going, Mr. Nicholson. I'll leave you my knee pads, of course.
Your knee pads?
Yeah, you'll be using them all the time here. When you're not scrubbing the floor, you'll be begging Mr. Willoughby for a raise.
You mean he makes you scrub floors here?
And clean the walls and wash the windows and carry out the garbage. That's the trickiest operation of all.
Oh, say, I was wondering about that. I haven't been able to find a garbage pail.
There isn't any. That's what makes it so tricky.
And you know something, young fella? I've been doing some thinking.
Yeah, me too. You know, maybe we'd both be happier if we had our old jobs back.
You ain't kidding.
Well, I think it could be done if you do everything wrong around here. That'll convince Mr. Willoughby that he'd be better off hiring me back again.
Oh, I see. I make him think I'm a worse employee than you, huh?
That's it. It won't be easy, but I think it's possible.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you... Hey, wait a minute. How are you going to quit?
Huh?
Well, that paper they made you sign, the county contract, that binds you for a period of 1 year.
Oh, my gosh. That must have been in the small print, which I didn't read.
No, it's in the large print.
Which I didn't read either.
Well, I'm afraid you're stuck, young fella. As soon as you take the fitness and character test, they'll swear you in.
The fitness and...
Personality. They send a man around to make sure you're a good law-abiding citizen.
Oh, they do they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother, your worries are over. We're home.
Huh?
Never mind. Just do your stuff here with Mr. Willoughby. I'll have that man check me at my boarding house, and that formality is going to be the most informal evening he ever spent.
Dennis, you're sure we're doing the right thing?
Oh, Mildred, you don't want me to get bitten to death, do you? Or die of pneumonia? Or maybe both at once.
Oh, well, no, of course not.
Then this is the only way. Now, look, the man from the post office will be here any minute.
Oh, don't worry. Daddy and Mother and I know just what to do.
Gosh, I can't get over it. Your mother is actually going to help me?
Yes. She says that getting you out of the post office is just as patriotic as buying war bonds.
Well, as long as she plays her part right, I just hope that it... Oh, my gosh, there he is now. I'll take it. You duck into the parlor.
Okay.
Yes?
How do you do? I'm Mr. Lesser from the post office department. I'm looking for a Mr. Dennis Day.
That's me.
Oh, good. This won't take a minute, Mr. Day. It's what we call our character test, just to make sure you're a good citizen.
Fine.
Now then, may I have your full name, please? First, middle, and last.
Sure. Dennis Heinrich von Himmler, Gering, Schickelgruber von Fackelot, Liebkraut, Day.
Day, are you a foreigner?
Why, if I ever gave you that idea.
Are you Mr. Day?
Forget it. I'm pure American for 6 generations back.
You're certain of that?
Ach, ja, sure, natürlich.
I'm still suspicious, Mr. Day.
Oh, don't be silly. What do you think I am, a spy?
Oh, no, of course not, but...
Pardon me, Chief. X-14 on the short wave.
Ixnay, Gretchen. He's a B-U-L-L.
Oh, excuse me.
And just who is X-14, Mr. Day?
Oh, that's my aunt. It's kind of a pet name, we call her.
What about these Andersons you live with? What sort of people are they?
Oh, just plain people.
What nationality are they?
Why, they're...
Do-you-do!
Vyacheslav Anderson. How often have I told you not to come in here without knocking?
Silly boy. I have here the pictures.
Yes, but we
Pictures, huh? Here, let me have a look at those.
Oh, no, you don't. It's none of your business what the floor plan of Fort Knox is.
Fort Knox? Give me those.
Hey.
What? Why, these are just photographs of Lana Turner.
You ought to see what happens when you put them under the hot water faucet.
So that's it. What kind of a gang is this, anyway?
Gang? Why, we're just a plain, normal American family like any other ordinary family.
Hello, Chiefy.
Hello, Matta. Mr. Lester, I'd like to present Mrs. Matta H. Anderson.
I'm glad to know you, big boy.
Had a nice day, Matta?
No, not too bad. I got the map of the uranium deposit, and here are the plans for the supersonic plane. The general came through.
That's my fine girl. Same method as usual?
Certainly. Rope 'em, soap 'em, elope 'em, and dope 'em.
Good work. We can take this over to the Sublotnik legation and collect 3 million commitments.
Mr. Day, you want to work in our post office, do you?
Yeah, I thought a nice quiet spot among the registered mail might be nice.
Oh, you did, huh? Well, let me tell you, after what I've seen tonight, you'll never work in a post office as long as you live. Goodbye, sir.
Hey, we did it. He fell for it. What do you know?
By George, he did at that.
Aren't we devils?
Boy, I'm glad I'm out of that mess, and it sure was nice of you folks to help me.
It was rather fun. What do you think, Herbie, you great big old hunk of oomph, you?
Silly girl.
Dennis Day will be back in just 1 minute to sing A Few More Kisses. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, hair that gleams and glistens from a luster cream shampoo.
Yes, Luster Cream Shampoo leaves hair with new 3-way loveliness. 1, fragrantly clean. 2, glistening with sheen. 3, soft, easy to manage. Luster Cream is not a soap, not a liquid, but an utterly new, rich lathering cream shampoo, a blend of secret ingredients plus lanolin. Try Luster Cream Shampoo. 4-ounce jar, only $1, also in smaller sizes. Be a dream girl, a lovely Luster Cream girl.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
With Charles Dant and the orchestra, here's Dennis to sing his latest RCA Victor recording, the hit ballad, A Few More Kisses.
A few more kisses and a few less heartache. That's all I'm asking of you. If something's happened, so I may be to blame, I love you more than ever and hope you feel the same. A few more sweet words and a few less teardrops. I'm sure they never would stop. If you just give me a few more kisses and a few less heartache, sweetheart. If you just give me a few more kisses and a few less heartache,
Good night, everybody.
Doctors prove the Palmolive plan brings 2 out of 3 women lovelier complexions in 14 days. For the Palmolive plan was tested on women with all types of skin. Dry, oily, even skin that was not clear. Yes, regardless of age, type of skin, or previous beauty care. The 14-day Palmolive plan for looking complexions. So get Palmolive soap and start your 14-day Palmolive plan now.
The Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company presents The Halls of Ivy, its closing program for the semester, and would like to take this moment to thank you not only for your attendance at Ivy, your thousands of complimentary letters and friendly messages, but for your very evident interest in Schlitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous. We hope that come the fall reopening, see your local papers for the exact day and time, we'll find you again enrolled in our college to audit the course, as they say in academic circles. And now, The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman.
The halls of ivy that surround us here today.
Welcome again to Ivy. Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. Night has descended upon the Ivy campus. The athletes have surreptitiously stubbed out their last illegal cigarettes of the day. The weary professors have settled down with their restoration novels or gone to Western movies. The Kappas and the Deeks and the Sigs and the Fidels have gone to their Greek slumbers. And at the powerhouse, the home of Dr. William Todhunter Hall, president of Ivy, and his wife Victoria, formerly of the English stage, the Sandman is getting a trifle impatient as the doctor says...
You still awake, Victoria?
I'm sorry, darling. Did the light waken you?
Can't you sleep?
I'm about to. I've been turning a problem over in my mind, looking for a solution. I think I've found it.
That's fine. Good night, darling.
Good night. Do you know Annie Bell?
Hmm?
Do you know Annie Bell?
How does it go?
It's not a song, it's a girl.
That's fine. Sleep well, darling.
Thank you. You too. She's the problem.
That's fine. Pleasant dreams.
Same to you. I found her in tears this afternoon in front of the administration building. I introduced myself and asked her what the matter was. Guess what she said?
Oh.
Annie Bell.
How does it go?
She said she was graduating from Ivy High this summer and that she'd applied for admission to Ivy College and been accepted. And now her father won't let her attend.
Well, why not?
Well, he doesn't seem to believe in higher education. She's heartbroken, but he refuses to budge.
That is a problem. You say you have a solution?
An excellent solution.
What is it?
I'm putting the entire matter in your hands. Good night.
Good night. In my hands? Victoria, what have I to do with it? What have I to do with Annie Bell?
Who?
Annie Bell.
How does it go?
Vicky, I can't interfere in a family relationship.
But she's a brilliant student. You're always saying how much you want brilliant students at Ivy.
Yes, but I can't go about capturing them with butterfly nets.
Well, Toddy, she wants so very much to be one of us. And her father's so dead set against her going to college. You should hear the things he says.
What does he say? If it's anything you can repeat to my unsophisticated ears.
He says Ivy is overrated. The faculty members are crackpots. You are a pantywaist. The governor's a knucklehead. The curriculum's a batch of junk.
Yes, that's enough, Vicky. That's enough. Pantywaist? What's her name? Annie Bell?
Yes. Her father is Ira Bell.
Ira... Oh, you mean the member of the Ivy City Council?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, no, Vicky. I'm sorry. Now I positively can't interfere. The friction between the town and the gown is too great as it is.
Well, you could speak to the man, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'd merely seem officious, if not impertinent.
Annie told me she's in the park every Sunday morning with her father. Why not chat with him tomorrow when we're Out walking the dog.
No reason at all. Except we haven't got a dog.
Well, we'll walk Professor Quincannon's dog.
Let Quincannon walk his own dog. Or vice versa. It's large enough. I remember when that dog was a tiny puppy, you could hold in the palm of your hand. Now the only way he can be distinguished from a large horse is that horses almost never try to sit on your lap. No, I want nothing to do with Quincannon's dog.
They're all away for the weekend, and I promised to look after the animal. So please say you'll speak to Mr. Bell, Toddy.
Let me think about it, Victoria. I'll decide during breakfast, all right?
I suppose so. Good night, darling.
Good night. Panty waist, indeed.
Oh, Toddy, what a heavenly day. Smell the grass.
Yes, lovely. Now, where is that animal?
Oh, chasing butterflies, I suppose. The last... Oh, there's Annie.
Well.
No, over there, on the bench. Is that her father?
Yes, that's Councilman Bell. Vesuvius Bell.
I thought it was Ira.
Now, Vesuvius is his nickname. See, he's the Mauna Loa of the Ivy Council. Constantly in eruption. Well, wish me luck. I'm about to take the bell by the horns.
Yeah, indeed.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Morning.
Victoria, may I introduce Mr. Mr. Bell? Mr. Bell is on the Ivy City Council.
How do you do, Mr. Bell?
Yeah. Meet my daughter, Annie, Dr. and Mrs. Hall. She's president of Ivy.
How do you do, Doctor? Mrs. Hall. How do you do?
How do you do? I didn't know you had a daughter this age. Why, she must be ready for college.
Oh, I am.
Yes. What she's ready for is to go to work until such time as she meets someone who can provide for her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know things were going that badly for you.
Bad? For me? I could send her to college for the next 50 years if I wanted.
Then why don't you?
What for? She can cook, sew, and take care of a house. What could she get at college?
An education.
Look, I know what you're going to say, Mrs. Hall. Let the girl go to college if she wants. I ain't blaming you. It's your husband's bread and butter. But I see it as a waste of time. Not worth a buffalo nickel.
Well, I'm sorry you think so, Mr. Bell.
Let's change the subject. That your dog? What kind is it?
His parentage is obscure. But he could probably take a prize for best of all breeds, because I'm sure he is all breeds.
Good-looking hound. Here, boy.
Oh, Papa, don't. You know dogs don't like you.
This one does, don't you, boy? He snapped at me.
I am so sorry.
Why ain't that dog kept on a lead?
Oh, he's a gentle animal as a rule.
You should have had him on a lead.
Well, there's no sign in the park that says he has to be.
Well, there's going to be a lot of signs all over the park, you hear me? I'll see to that. It'll be the first business before the council in the morning. Only a fathead would let a bad-tempered mutt like that run loose. A lot of good your education has done you.
Gentlemen. Now, is there any new business?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Bell.
Yesterday in the park, a dog running loose come along and took a nip at me. That's a threat to the safety of everybody in town. I move that signs be put up all over the park. I've wrote one out. No dogs must be brought into this park except on a lead.
Mr. Chairman, is a private citizen permitted to speak at this council meeting? Is it open?
Oh, it's you, Dr. Hall. I thought I saw you sitting there. Yes, you're allowed to speak.
Thank you. I object to the wording proposed by Councilman Bell. Will he repeat it, please?
No dogs must be brought into this park except on a lead.
Well, does that mean it's all right to take the lead off the dog once it's in the park? I suggest the councilman could stand some education, particularly in the use of the English language.
Mr. Chairman, I don't need no highfalutin.
Mind your temper, Ira.
It don't need an education to put up a sign in the park. I take back that sign and I offer this one. Dogs are not allowed in this park without leave.
Now, Mr. Chairman, such a sign is addressed to the dogs and not to the owners. Is the dog supposed to read the sign and then trot home and put on a lead? Councilman Bell's education seems to me to be...
Order in here. Order! Mr. Chairman, here's one he can't object to. Owners of dogs are not allowed in this park unless they keep them on leash.
Oh, that means that if I want to walk in the park without my dog, I must first put a lead on it, even if the dog stays at home. If that's what Councilman Bell had in mind, I think he stated it remarkably well, because when we come to...
Order, Dr. Hall, are you trying to hold this council up to ridicule?
Oh, certainly not, Mr. Chairman. Possibly you wouldn't mind framing this simple order.
Well, it should read, dogs who... people whose dogs... that is... dogs owned by people... I ain't got a dog. Anyhow, I'm chairman here.
With the greatest respect, sir, it appears to me that Councilman Bell's education has been neglected, and that this matter should be referred to someone with enough knowledge of English...
I don't need no long-haired pantywaist to tell me what...
Order!
Make him squeal if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, Papa, stop pounding the table. The coffee will spill
Nuts to the coffee.
Would you like me to make up a sign for you?
Oh, so you're on Hall's side. You don't think your old man can do it? Well, I don't need no help.
Well, you better get it right this time. Did you see what the Evening Times says?
What'd it say?
If a city councilman cannot concoct a simple sign, he should retire. If he refuses to retire, he should be recalled. Councilman Bell demonstrated ignorance...
Never bring that paper into this house again. It's communistic. Trying to undermine the city government.
This is giving me a headache. I'm going out. Yes? Who is it? Annie Bell. May I see you for a moment? Oh, of course, my dear. Come up on the porch. Hello, Dr. Hall.
Hello, Annie. I'm glad you came by. We were thinking about you.
Oh?
You know, it occurred to us during dinner that you might have to bear the brunt of the strong feelings unleashed at the council meeting this morning. Are you all right?
Yes, thank you. I'm all right. You're quite sure? Oh, yes. But Papa isn't so good. His pride's awful hurt.
I had no idea when I started all this that it would have such consequences. I'd like to speak to your father, Annie, and ask him if we couldn't settle this matter without any...
Speak to him, all right. What's cooking around here, anyway? I figured you'd come here, Annie. You go on straight home.
Now, Mr. Bell, just a moment. Don't go, Annie.
I ain't interested in nothing you got to say.
Yes, but don't let your temper interfere with your good sense, man. I want to talk to you about calling this whole thing off.
Call it off?
Yes. Have you any idea of the results of this morning's council meeting? My mail is full of letters, crackpot and otherwise. I've been deluged with requests to appear on television shows.
Well, it's your own fault for meddling.
Oh, I'm not the only sufferer, and it's even begun to affect public welfare. Do you know that crossing the square today we saw a fist fight? Two men bludgeoning each other over a difference in opinion as to the correct wording of the sign. That sort of thing can spread, you know. I'm sincerely sorry, Bell, that I permitted a slight annoyance to get the better of my judgment.
Well, maybe I went off kind of half-cocked myself. When I was a young man, I had an awful temper. My old man said I ought to take treatments for it. I asked him what kind of treatments, and he said I needed shots. Two of them through the head. Well, what do you suggest?
Simply that I will not be at the meeting tomorrow. You can then say that you feel the matter of signs in the park should be dropped. And in 24 hours, the whole thing will be forgotten.
You sure you won't be at that meeting?
I promise. You know, all of this started through a sincere desire on my part to point out the advantages of a good education for your daughter. She's a fine girl, Mr. Bell. The real thirst for knowledge. I'm amazed that a man of your means would stand in her way, but, as you say, she knows how to cook, sew, and keep house, and that's enough.
Until the right man comes along to take care of her.
Well, the right man has come along. Vicky, don't you think it's time for Annie to go to work?
Yes. Mr. Bell, your training has fitted Annie for one thing, if nothing else, and we'll be very happy to take advantage of it. Annie? Yes, Mrs. Hall? Will you do something for me? Anything. Then I want you to come and take care of us. Cook, sew, do all the housework.
Naturally, we will pay you fair wages.
My daughter? Why, you...
You've trained her well, Mr. Bell. And, Annie...
Yes, sir?
This way, in your spare time, you could work your way through college.
As your maid?
Yes. Now, if your father wants to know what's cooking, tell him you are.
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. No wonder it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
We'll return to the Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman in just a moment. But first, let's hear from a man who got a wrong number that turned out all right.
It was one of those hot, humid evenings last week, and I was slouched in a lounge chair on the terrace trying to get cool when the telephone rang. I glanced over at Mary, but she had that ladies be seated look that wives get, so I climbed out of my chair and went inside to answer the phone. A party on the other end said, Mr. Edmonds, we'll have that order of yours out to you in a few minutes. I just want to check and see whether you wanted your case of Schlitz beer cold or not. Well, I'm sorry, I said I think you have the wrong number. My name is Moran, and the phone number is 2076M. But, say, could you have one of those cases dropped off at my place? And I'd like mine cold. Well, he took down my address, thanked me for the order, and hung up. When I returned to the terrace, I just told Mary it was the wrong number. A few minutes later, the delivery truck pulled up. I met the man at the kitchen door, paid him, and then poured 2 glasses of Schlitz beer. Well, aren't you the little surprise party, Mary said when I explained what had happened. And we sat back, relaxed, and I felt considerably cooler. That Schlitz beer certainly hit the spot. You know, Mary, I said, it's no wonder Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. If it tastes this good to everyone who tries it, I can understand why they call Schlitz the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
That surround us here today.
Returning to the Halls of Ivy, we find Dr. and Mrs. Hall awaiting the arrival of Messrs. Wellman and Merriweather, who have phoned rather urgently requesting that the Halls be at home.
Are you going to be accused of kidnapping Annie Bell, Toddy? What do you think it's about the council meeting?
Well, we'll soon find out when our 2 friends arrive.
Toddy, your language, please. You're speaking of Mr. Wellman.
Oh, sorry. Let's say our friend Merriweather and his friend.
I'm surprised we haven't heard him screaming on the way.
All this pother. You know, Vicky, when the thesis I wrote for my doctorate was published, no one took notice. When I won the fight to make Greek optional rather than mandatory here at Ivy, nobody sent up skyrockets. And when I instituted the Great Books course, a veritable revolution in American education, the news appeared in one paper between a photo of a man who could hold 6 golf balls in his mouth and an ad proclaiming the merits of a depilatory. But now, simply because I'm trying to direct a young girl down the path she should be taking, my next newspaper photo will probably be just my head. Off. And if I ever get
hold
another...
on to it with both hands. I like it where it is. I'll let them in.
Build a better mousetrap indeed. What do you catch? Mice. If a man wants to make pest control his life's work, that's all very well, but don't come to me.
William, we have visitors.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Wellman and Mr. Merriweather. This is a pleasant surprise. Won't you sit down?
Dr. Hall, I'll be brief and to the point.
Dr. Hall, it's good to see you again. You're looking fine. Don't know how you're doing. Only exercise you seem to take is lifting Bartlett's quotations off the shelf and putting it back again.
And that only a few times a week, Mr. Merriweather. You seem to be fit, too.
Dr. Hall, I'll be brief and to the point. I feel...
Well, I feel fit. I feel more than fit.
Dr. Hall, I'll be brief and to the point. This matter...
I always feel that way this time of the year. You know, you wouldn't think an old buck like me would ever again get the urge to put vine leaves in his hair and go frolicking, would you? But I do. I do. Up early every morning helping the peasants trampling out the orange juice. Well, Clarence, you're just going to sit there like a mummy. We're supposed to be here on business. Start talking.
Dr. Hall...
And Clarence, keep it brief and to the point.
Dr. Hall, at the meeting of the Board of Governors this afternoon, Mr. Merriweather and I were appointed a committee of two with the duty of bringing to your attention, as it were, the views of the entire board, so to speak.
Did you know they used to call Clarence here the boy orator of the River Platte when he was in high school? And I've just figured out why. The Platte River is very long, not very deep, and winds all over the landscape.
Please, I'm trying to...
Dr. Hall, it boils down to this. The board wants your private ruckus with the town council to stop, but quick.
Is the board acquainted with all the facts in the matter?
Dr. Hall, it is always imperative that the relationship between the college and the community be on the most amicable level.
Mr. Wellman...
There is nothing you can say that will change my mind.
Mr. Wellman, if you don't...
I am not in the least interested in any argument you may advance.
Mr. Wellman, I would like
I'm
to say...
I'm convinced your altercation will Councilman Bell can and must be brought to a halt for the good of the school.
Mr. Wellman...
What is it?
You're right.
What did you say?
You're absolutely right.
Clarence.
What is it, Merriweather?
Answer the man. Gad, Doctor. Nobody's ever told Clarence before he was right about anything. It's been a nasty shock for him. You want to sit down, Clarence, till your heart, if any, starts beating again?
Well, I'm sure Mr. Wellman would like to know what I propose to do regarding Councilman Bell. I'm seeing him in a few minutes, and I shall turn in a complete report to the board.
That will be quite satisfactory, Doctor. Was there anything else, Merriweather?
Anything else? No, Clarence. No, I shouldn't think so. As a matter of fact, it's true, isn't it? We just happened to be passing and thought we'd drop in to say hello. Right, Clarence?
Hello? Yes, of course. Hello.
Hello, Clarence. Good day, Doctor and Mrs. Hall.
I'm glad you stopped by, Mr. Bell, now that the excitement's over.
Dr. Hall, do you think that exhibition in the council meeting proved that I'm just an ignorant farmer?
Oh, not necessarily. I think, however, it did prove that you were not equipped to meet me or anyone at Ivy in a contest which called for educational ground rules. If you were embarrassed, it was because you issued a challenge to an opponent in a heavier division.
Well, believe me, I've heard plenty about it. Everybody in town has been pulling my ears.
Well, and I'd like to make a confession to you, Mr. Bell, about that sign in the park.
Yeah? What about it?
Well, I was being intentionally picayune about it. I doubt if there is any way to write such a sign that could not be criticized.
So it was just a trick to teach me a lesson?
No.
Well, I've been an obstinate man all my life. Only time I'm really licked is when I find out the other guy's right. That don't happen very often. It did this time.
And your daughter?
Why should she have to work her way through college just on account of her old man's stubbornness?
Well, I think that's a very generous way to look at it.
Not generous at all. I got plenty of money. When you're wrong, you got to pay off. So long, Doctor. Keep an eye on Annie.
I will, Mr. Bell. Good day. And come again.
There was such an absolute silence in here, I couldn't help coming in. I thought you'd killed each other.
On the contrary, my dear, everything is peaceful. We both hit the sawdust trail, saw the light, and are now walking together, hand in hand, into the sunset.
And while the golden sun is slowly sinking into the western hills, you can sing me the last verse of Annie Bell. How does it go?
The iron hand has been lifted. Now, when the right man comes along, she can not only sew and cook and make the beds, she can assault him with rhetoric and calculus. I hope I haven't ruined an otherwise happy marriage.
I don't think so, Toddy. Well, after all, I could read and write, and we've been happy. But I can still write. In fact, I've written the perfect sign for the park.
You have?
Sure, it's easy.
What does it say?
It says, children and dogs welcome in this park under any and all circumstances.
Now, why couldn't I have thought of that?
I was curious. I tasted it. Now I know why Schlitz is the largest selling beer in America. No wonder it's the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
And here again are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colton.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vicky and I would like to add our own deep appreciation for your gratifying response to the Halls of Ivy. This, added to our very pleasant association with our offstage Board of Governors, the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company of Milwaukee, has made the presidency of Ivy a most enjoyable experience. Wouldn't you say so, Vicky?
I not only would, Toddy, I do, at frequent intervals. And I don't think we should close the school for the summer without a word of thanks to the faculty. Ken Carpenter, Henry Russell, Nat Wolfe, Don Quinn and his writers, and, well, everybody on the campus. Now then, can you think of a graceful little phrase to bow out with, William?
Well, I might quote another William who could. As Prospero says in The Tempest, our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And, like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits, shall dissolve. And, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Good night.
The preceding program was transcribed. Next.
It isn't Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky, kiddies.
The Fred Allen Show, with Fred's guests, the Metropolitan Opera star, Lauritz Melchoir, Portland Hoffa, Minerva Pius as Mrs. Nussbaum, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And if you ever want to have me paged, my name is Kenny Delmar.
gentlemen, a certain news commentator starts his program saying, there's good news tonight. We start our show by saying, there's bad news tonight. And here it is. Meet Fred Allen.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny, speaking of news, it may interest you to know that I was called to Washington this week.
Oh, still trying to get out of the draft, huh?
No. No, Kenny. General Grant straightened that out for me.
Mr. Allen!
Well, of course.
What is your question tonight?
Was your family income higher in 1944? And if it was, what accounted for the increase?
Shall we go?
As the nostril said to the Kleenex, I think I'll blow. Something tells me the Senate is home. I smell chitlings cooking.
Somebody say, somebody not.
Yes, I know.
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn, that is.
You don't have to...
I'm from the South. The only candy I eat is cotton candy.
I don't care what...
Seen Gone with the Wind 72 times.
Look, I don't care...
When I'm in New York, I refuse to drive through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Now, look, Senator.
What's eating your son out with
well,
it?
I just would
Your
like...
jaw keeps wagging, but nothing comes out.
Well, I don't give
You're
it...
like Charlie McCarthy without Edgar Bergen.
Well, if you just give me a...
Regular dummy. Dummy, that is.
Now, wait a minute. Put me down off your knee, Senator. Now, what about families earning more money in 1944?
Well, it ain't what people earn, son. It's what they can keep.
You mean?
Most people end up with nothing.
It's the law of averages?
It's the Ways and Means Committee.
The Ways and Means?
If you've got means, they'll find ways to get it. So long, son. So long, that is.
So long, Senator.
Don't forget, vote for Jefferson Davis.
I'll write him in. Well, you can tell the Senator's doing a whale of a job. Instead of a cane, he carries a harpoon. Oh, well, let's see if Titus Moody is here.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, you don't look so well tonight, Mr. Moody.
No.
Oh, you have sinus trouble?
Yeah. When I was a little boy, my mother used to pick me up by the nose.
Your mother picked you up by the nose?
I had small ears.
Oh, Well, I couldn't see your ears. You have your ear laps on there.
Yeah, I've been out chasing my wife.
Chasing your wife, huh?
My wife had a dog biscuit, accidental.
Ate a dog biscuit?
Yeah, last 2 nights.
Uh-huh.
She's been running up and down the road barking at strangers.
Well, about these higher wages, how did you do in 1944?
Only made one deal.
One deal, huh?
Yeah, in January, I bought a pig for $8.
I see.
Fed the pig $12 worth of swill.
Yeah.
$20 worth of mash.
Yeah.
December, I sold the pig for $40.
Now, wait a minute. If you bought the pig for $8, spent $12 for swill, that's $20. $20 more for mash, that's $40, and you say you sold the pig for only $40.
Yeah, I didn't make no money.
No?
No, but I had the use of the pig all the year. So long, Bob.
Well, Mr. Moody will never know enough to bring home the bacon, I guess. Let's see what happens at this next door.
No?
Oh, Mrs. Nussbaum.
You are expecting maybe Rosalind Yussel.
Tell me, Mrs. N, did your family make more money in 1944?
Money is all over.
Oh, really?
In the closets is money. On the shelf is money. The cat, a little pussy, is sleeping on money.
Well, with all this money, were you and Pierre both working?
I am welding with overtime.
Oh, welding, huh?
Pierre is working in the shipyard.
Fine.
He is a funnel sealer.
A funnel sealer?
Yes. When a ship is finished,
Uh-huh.
Pierre is sealing up the funnel.
Well, why should he seal up the funnel?
If nothing is in the funnel,
Yeah?
smoke can going out.
Oh, Well, what happened to all this money you made?
Pierre is buying a filling station.
Good, a filling station.
Pierre's gasoline heaven.
Gasoline.
Open 23 hours a day.
23 hours, why not 24?
A man has to sleep.
Oh. Pierre ran the whole station alone?
And what service he is giving.
You mean when a car drove up?
Pierre is running out and combing the raccoon's tail on the radiator cap. Next, with a squidgy, he is cleaning the windshield.
Good.
He is waxing the chassis,
Uh-huh.
putting air in the tires,
Good.
polishing the fenders,
I see.
and for the driver, he is shining the shoes, pressing the suit, and blacking the hat.
Hey, with that service, Pierre must have made a fortune.
In 2 months, he is broke.
Broke?
Pierre is so busy combing, cleaning, waxing, shining, and pressing.
Yes.
He is forgetting to sell gasoline.
And today?
He is still calling it Pierre's gasoline heaven.
Uh-huh.
But the business is going to...
I see your point.
Thank you.
Well, here we are at the last house in Allen's Alley. Let's see what happens here.
Hello, Mr. Allen.
Well, the DeMarco kids. Have you rented McGee and McGee's house?
Yes, we got it for a song.
And the song is?
It's been a long, long time.
Oh, swell.
Kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this before since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dreamed about you, or just how empty they'll seem without you. So kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Kiss me once, kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long time. Haven't felt like this before since can't remember when. It's been a long, long, long time. You never know how many dreams I dreamed about you. Oh, just how empty without you. So kiss me once, then kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. It's been a long time.
Mr. Goodman has just rendered a shorthand version of It Might As Well Be Spring. That's as much music as Mr. Goodman's men can hold on their stands without crowding off their racing form. So that happens every Sunday the same way. Yes, Portland, you,
Who is our guest tonight?
Well, our guest, there's a little mix-up, Portland. I did have Balsam Bemis.
Who is Balsam Bemis?
Who is Balsam Bemis? He is the manager of the only theater in New York City that isn't showing an Ingrid Bergman picture this week. But he just called up. He can't make it tonight. His popcorn machine went haywire. It squirted 2 pounds of butter on a statue of Louis B. Mayer in the lobby. He's there with some bread mopping up the lobby. That's what happens. Our guest stars drop out like that. We never know.
Well, is anyone coming?
Well, Lauritz Melchoir, the big opera star, may drop in. He called me up and said that he wanted to see me.
Wasn't Mr.
Melchior here 2 years ago?
Oh, it's over 2 years ago. He was griping about Sinatra making $30,000 a week. Remember? Mr. Melchior wanted me to get him on the radio.
Well, what does he want tonight?
Well, at that time, I told him to stay in opera. He became a big star, so he probably wants to thank me for giving him that advice.
This must be Mr. Melchior now.
Come in. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. Lauritz Melchoir. As a lover of shellfish, Mr. Melchior, I welcome you to our little clam bake.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you.
The last time I saw you, remember, you wanted me to get you into radio.
Here I am again.
Lauritz, you mean?
Fred, you've got to get me into radio.
Radio? Why, you were one of opera's biggest stars. I went by the Metropolitan a few weeks ago. You were billed outside. There was a line.
Line wasn't for the opera, Fred.
No?
That was the end of the Paramount light waiting to see Sinatra.
Again with Sinatra. Lauritz, stop worrying about the narrow nightingale. Don't forget that you are the great Melchior.
But Sinatra makes $30,000 a week.
It's ridiculous. You, the great Wagnerian tenor, would like to be in Sinatra's shoes?
Why not? My shoes have holes in them. Look.
Gosh, you've got paper in the soles.
It's an old copy of Downbeat.
Well, what are a few holes in your shoes? In opera, you are a star.
Fred, make me another Frankie boy.
No, Lauritz.
Another Perry Como.
No, Lauritz.
Dick Haynes.
Not even Dick Haynes. Lauritz, think back. What did I tell you 2 years ago?
You said Sinatra was just a flash in the pan.
That's right.
He's been in the pan a long time.
Lauritz, you came to me whining before. I told you to stay in opera.
And I stayed in opera.
Well?
I wish I was dead.
Lauritz, in opera you sing to audiences in top hats, evening gowns, mink windbreakers. Do you want to sing for kids in sloppy Joe sweaters and bobby socks?
For $30,000. They can sit in the union suit.
Now, Lauritz, listen to reason.
$30,000. And what does he say?
You took some liberty with the lyrics, I see. Lauritz, who could take your place in opera? Carmen Lombardo is on the road by request. You can't give up Tannhäuser, Lohengrin, and Tristan in his shoulder.
$30,000, but...
Gosh, Lauritz. Think of your opera tradition. What would the great Melba say if she could hear you now?
Oh, but $30,000, the great Melba would think.
I don't understand what you want in life. You have fame. You just made a picture in Hollywood, didn't you?
Yes, but I was in Thrill of a Romance.
Thrill of a Romance with Esther Williams and Van Johnson. It was a big MGM hit.
Sure. But who saw me?
Who saw you?
The men who looked at Van Johnson.
The Hollywood autograph fans didn't mob you?
Oh, just one little girl asked for my autograph.
Well, that's something.
She thought I was Edward Arnold.
Well, you did better than I did. They kept mistaking me for Thunderhead, son of Pasternak.
Fred, you've got to get me into radio.
No, Lauritz, and that is positively final.
You be my manager, Fred.
Be your manager?
We'll split the $30,000, 50-50.
And you'll never regret it, Lauritz Melchoir.
When we start?
Right now. You know, a lot of radio producers and sponsors listen to this program. Now, if you can give an audition, we might get an offer tonight. Is there something you can sing?
How about Because?
Because, fine. The Jack Benny contest theme song. I like Jack Benny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Melchior is now available for any and all radio engagements. After his audition song, any producers or sponsors interested in Mr. Melchior for radio can phone us here at the Fred Allen program. Well, go ahead, Lauritz. Give it plenty of schmaltz. Was in the hall and thought it was a choir. He never heard of it. That was wonderful, Mr. Melchior.
Any phone calls yet?
No phone calls. Keep your leotard on, Lauritz. When those phone bells start ringing, you'll think it's a good humor man with St. Vitus dance.
Are you sure the telephone?
Yes, it's working, Lauritz. Now stop biting your nails. Every big producer in radio is probably fishing around for a nickel to call us. Now relax. There's the phone. Here's the first nibble, Lauritz. I've got it. Hello? Fred Allen, manager of Lauritz Melchoir speaking. You heard the audition? You want Mr. Melchior right away? Well, I'll see. Yes, it's the 4 chicks and a chuck. They want you to fill in.
Do they want me to sing at a chick or a chuck?
Well, I'll find out. You have a choice there. Hello? Oh, you wanted to sing with 4 other people? Now listen. Mr. Melchior sings as a soloist or not at all. Goodbye.
But Fred, this was a job.
What job? A job just for 2 weeks. One of the chicks was molting. If you go into radio, Lauritz, you're not sitting on a nest singing with any group. You are singing a solo.
Fred, the telephone.
I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Mr. Manville? It's Tommy Manville, Lauritz. Yes, Mr. Manville. Hold the line. I'll see. Lauritz, do you know Oh, Promise Me?
No, Fred, I can't sing at weddings. When I open my mouth, I always get a mouthful of rice.
Well, it's a good offer, Lauritz. Not much money singing at Manville weddings, but it's steady work.
No, Fred.
Sorry, Mr. Manville. Thanks for calling. What? No, I don't know Lucy Monroe's number. Goodbye.
Maybe I should sing again, Fred.
Now, Lauritz, stop worrying. Something big will come in any minute.
Maybe we could call back the chicks and the chuck.
No, Lauritz.
If the next is big enough, I could sit.
Now, please, Lauritz, please. Hello? Yes, Mr. Melchoir is here. Hold it, I'll ask him. Lauritz,
Yes.
can you sing in a blonde wig and slacks?
In a blonde wig.
It's Phil Spitaldi. What shall I tell him?
Tell him my wig size is 7.5.
Yes, Phil. What? No, I won't let him sing falsetto with 14 dames. Goodbye. You're going to sing a solo or nothing.
But, Fred, I'm
Hungry, Lauritz. Hello? Yes? An offer for Mr. Melchoir? What? You sing a solo? We'll be right over. Goodbye. Lauritz, this is it. Grab your hat and alpine stock.
Never mind my hat. Let us go.
All right, this is the studio, Lauritz. See that sign on the door?
Radio Productions Incorporated.
Let's go in.
Can I help you, Jen?
I am Mr. Melchior's manager. This is Mr. Lauritz Melchoir.
Oh, Mr. Badoo, Mr. Melchior's here.
Melchior, the great Melchior, it's you.
How do you do?
Mr. Melchior, everything is ready.
Not so fast, Badoo. Before we sign anything, remember Mr. Melchior will only sing a solo.
It is a solo. The orchestra is 100 musicians.
At last, you're in radio, Lauritz. Are you happy?
I can never thank you.
The studio is ready, Mr. Melchior, right through here.
And what an orchestra. What an orchestra. Toscanini personally is playing the cymbal.
We're ready, Mr. Badoo.
Here is your music, Mr. Melchior. We're all set to go.
Good luck, Lauritz.
Thanks, Fred.
Quiet, everybody. Let's go. We're on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the glorious voice of the great Lauritz Melchoir.
Sing in the bathtub, singing for joy. Live in the life or die, boy. Can't help singing, 'cause I know the life I really love.
Every time you think you're tired of just the same old thing, say just the same old words all day, all day. See just like the ticket-oo, find something new to sing. Open your mouth and say, chicory-tick-cha-la-cha, check-a-la-room, in a banana, kabala-kawalaka, can't you see? Chicory-tick is me. Tick-tick-cha-cha-la, check-a-la-room, in a banana, kabala-kawalaka, can't you see? Do-do-do-tick is me, tick-tick-cha-cha-cha-cha, check-a-la-room, in a banana, kabala-kawalaka, can't you see? Tick is me. When you're sick of the same old thing, just find something new to sing. Open your mouth and say, tick, 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 cha. Check, check, the movie of Halika, Walika, can't you see? Chicory tick is me. Chicory tick, tick, chicory tick, tick, chicory tick is me. Chicory tick, tick, cha-la.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this before, just can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dreamed about you. For just how empty they'll seem without you. So kiss me once, and kiss me twice, and kiss me once again. It's been a long